Everyone. A warm welcome to all gathered here for the Faculty Development Program on Leveraging Research, Philosophy and Technology in Academia, organized by Academic Forum in association with IQAC and IIC. Let us begin today's session by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. Let's all rise for a silent prayer. To officially welcome everyone to this inspiring academic gathering, may I now invite Ms. M. Grishma Pavitran, IQAC Coordinator, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, one and all. With immense pleasure, I welcome you all to the Faculty Development Program on Leveraging Research, Philosophy and Technology in Academia, organized by College Academic Forum in association with IQAC and IIC. This FDP aims to enhance academic and research perspectives by integrating philosophical insight and technology into our teaching learning practices. We are indeed privileged to have distinguished personalities among us. With profound respect, I welcome Vice Principal Dr. Subhash John, who will deliver presidential address. Welcome, sir. A warm welcome to College Manager, Reverend Father Rajan Fosto, who will bless the gathering with the benedictory speech. Welcome, Father. It's my great honor to welcome our esteemed resource person, Dr. Ramasesh, retired librarian, University of Mysore, whose vast experience and expertise will certainly inspire us. Welcome, sir. A special word of welcome to Ms. Jancy Joseph, President, IIC, who will introduce our resource person shortly. Welcome. Well, I take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts taken by the Academic Forum. Let me welcome the convener, Dr. Roy Xavier T., who will be proposing vote of thanks. Welcome, sir. Last but not least, a heartfelt welcome to all our respected colleagues who form the vibrant core of our academic community. Welcome you all once. Thank you.
I now invite Dr. Subhash John to deliver the presidential address.
പ്രിയ ബഹുമാന്യായ ഇന്നത്തെ നമ്മുടെ ചീഫ് ഗസ്റ്റും റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണുമായ മൈസൂർ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ലൈബ്രറിയൻ ശ്രീ ഡോക്ടർ CP രാമശേഷ്, അനുഗ്രഹ പ്രഭാഷണം നടത്തുന്ന നമ്മുടെ കോളേജ് മാനേജർ റവറൻഡ് ഫാദർ രാജൻ ഫൗസോ, അതുപോലെ അക്കാഡമിക് ഫോറത്തിൻ്റെ കൺവീനർ റോയിസ, മെൽവിനച്ചൻ, ജാൻസി ടീച്ചർ, ഗ്രീഷ്മ ടീച്ചർ, അക്ഷത ടീച്ചർ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട അധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, നമ്മൾ ജീവിക്കുന്നത് മഹാശാസ്ത്രയുഗത്തിലാണ്. ആധുനികാനന്തര കാലഘട്ടമാണ്. ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും ഭാരമുള്ള വസ്തു ഏതാണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ വസ്തുതാപരമായി തെറ്റാണെങ്കിലും ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന കാര്യത്തിന് കൃത്യതയുണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. മനസ്സാണ് ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും ഭാരമുള്ള വസ്തു. കാരണം അത്രമേൽ ചിന്തകളും സന്തോഷങ്ങളും സങ്കടങ്ങളും ഓർമ്മകളും മറവികളും അങ്ങനെ വൈവിധ്യമായിട്ടുള്ള വൈകാരികതകളുടെ ഒരു സംഗമ സ്ഥലമാണ് മനസ്സ്. അപ്പോൾ ആ മനസ്സ് ശാന്തമായാൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഉത്തരവാദിത്തങ്ങൾ വളരെ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് നിർവഹിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റുകയുള്ളൂ. ഒരു അധ്യാപകനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം മികച്ച പഠന പ്രക്രിയകൾ ഫലപ്രദമായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റണമെങ്കിൽ മനസ്സ് ശാന്തമാവണം. മനസ്സ് ശാന്തമാവണമെങ്കിൽ ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ
സെഷനിൽ ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തിയിരിക്കുന്ന വിഷയങ്ങളിൽ നമ്മൾ പ്രാവീണ്യതയുള്ള ആളുകളായിരിക്കുകയും വേണം. അക്കാദമികവും ഗവേഷണാത്മകവും സാങ്കേതികതയുള്ളതും തത്വചിന്താപരമായ ഉൾക്കാഴ്ചയുള്ളതുമായ കഴിവുകൾ സമഞ്ജസമായി സമന്വയിപ്പിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മുടെ അധ്യാപകർ എന്ന നിലക്കുള്ള പഠന പ്രക്രിയകൾ പൂർണ്ണമാവുക. അപ്പോൾ അതിനുള്ള ഒരു സെഷനാണിത്. എങ്ങനെ ഫിലോസഫിക്കലായിട്ടുള്ള ഇൻസൈറ്റ് നമുക്ക് നേടിയെടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പറ്റും, അക്കാദമികമായിട്ടുള്ള മികവ് ഏതൊക്കെ ഉറവിടങ്ങളിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് സമാർജിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി കഴിയും, ഗവേഷണാത്മകമായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ഒരു അതോറിറ്റി ആവാൻ നമ്മൾ എന്തൊക്കെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും വളരെ പരിചയസമ്പന്നനായിട്ടുള്ള രാമശേഷ് സാറിൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ് വഴി നമുക്ക് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ലഭിക്കും. ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് വളരെ ശ്രദ്ധയോടെ, വളരെ പ്രസാദാത്മകതയോടെ, ചലനക്ഷമതയോടുകൂടി ഈ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാം, പങ്കാളികളാകാം. നല്ലൊരു ക്ലാസ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് നൽകുന്നതിനുള്ള എല്ലാ ആശംസകളും സാറിനെ നൽകുകയാണ്. ഈ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്ന ഞാൻ ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള എല്ലാവർക്കും നല്ലൊരു ക്ലാസ് ലഭിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി.
I invite Mr. Rajan Fosto, Manager, St. Joseph's College, Pilathara, to bless the gathering with a benedictory address.
Subhash's Marathi പറയട്ടോ. I asked him, do you know Malayalam? No, father. കന്നഡ ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟಾಗ കന്നഡ I will speak. മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞ ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ സുഖാര്യത്തിൽ പറയാം, അത് ഞാൻ ഉറപ്പേരിച്ചാണ്. പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ സുഭാഷ് സാർ പറഞ്ഞു, നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുമ്പോഴൊക്കെ മനസ്സിൽ എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, സമാധാനം, ശാന്തതയാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്, എന്തോ പറഞ്ഞു. യെസ്, അതായത് പീസ്ഫുൾ, ശാന്തത. ഞാൻ 2 മണിക്കൂറിന്റെ ഒരു ക്ലാസ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വരികയാണ്. ഏകദേശം ഇതൊക്കെ ടച്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. ശരിക്കും നമ്മുടെ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഈ ശാന്തത വേണം. ഫോണിലല്ല, ജീവിതത്തിനൊരു ശാന്തത വേണം. പിന്നെ അതിനേക്കാൾ കൂടുതലായിട്ട് ഞാൻ 10ാം ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പ്രസംഗ മത്സരത്തിൽ പങ്കെടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഞാനൊരു കാട്ടിൽ പോയി, എൻ്റെ വീടൊരു കാട്ടിനടുത്താണ്. ഇപ്പോഴും കാടൊക്കെ വെട്ടി നാടായി മാറുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ കാട്ടിൽ ഞാൻ കുറേ ആൾക്കാരെ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കും മുമ്പിൽ. എന്നിട്ട് ഞാൻ പ്രസംഗിക്കുമായിരുന്നു. ആരുമില്ല, പക്ഷെ കാടും മരങ്ങളും എല്ലാം തന്നെ ആൾക്കാർ, ആയിരക്കണക്കിന് ആൾക്കാരെ ഞാൻ കാണും. അങ്ങനെ പ്രസംഗിച്ചത്. എന്നിട്ട് ഞാൻ തന്നെ എന്നോട് പറയായിരുന്നു, യു ആർ ഗ്രേറ്റ്. അതായത് പ്രസംഗിക്കാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ, ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ യു ആർ ഗ്രേറ്റ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇന്ന് എവിടെ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുമ്പോഴും അത് നമ്പറില്ല, 10,000-കണക്കിനാണെങ്കിലും വലിയ കൺവെൻഷൻ ആണെങ്കിലും ഐ ഹാവ് നോ ഫിയർ. ഫിയർ ഇല്ലാത്ത ലോകത്തിൽ ആരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിലൊന്ന് രാജൻ ഫൗസ്തുവാണ്. ഐ ഹാവ് നോ ടെൻഷൻ അറ്റ് ഓൾ. ഭൂകമ്പം ഇപ്പോൾ വീഴുകയാണെങ്കിലും, ഞാനിപ്പോൾ പിടഞ്ഞു മരിക്കാൻ പോകണമെങ്കിലും ഐ ഹാവ് നോ ഫിയർ, ബിക്കോസ് ഐ ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ് ശാന്തത. ദാറ്റ്സ് ഫെയ്ത്ത്. അപ്പോൾ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ്, ബി ഹാപ്പി ഓൾവേസ്. സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ ശാന്തത പലപ്പോഴും നശിക്കാറുണ്ട്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങളൊക്കെ പലരും സിസ്റ്റർ ഒഴികെ വരാറുണ്ടോ? ഓക്കെ, ചിലർ കഴിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് കുടുംബജീവിതം നയിക്കുന്നവരാണ്. ഈ ശാന്തത, സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ ശാന്തത സാർക്കുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ പലർക്കില്ലാത്തതിനൊരു കാരണം കുടുംബജീവിതത്തിൽ വലിയ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ടാകും. ചിലപ്പോൾ ശമ്പളം കുറവായിരിക്കില്ല, ചിലപ്പോൾ ഇതിനേക്കാളും സമയത്ത് ഇതുവരെ അങ്ങനെ ജീവിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സാധ്യത. പക്ഷെ അതെല്ലാം ശരിയാകും എന്നുള്ള ഒരു വിശ്വാസം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തന്നെയോ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ ശാന്തത ഉണ്ടാകും. ഈ ശാന്തത ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ അത് നമുക്ക് മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളോട് പറഞ്ഞു, നിങ്ങൾ മുമ്പിൽ വന്നിരിക്കാനായിട്ട് അതിനൊരു കാരണമുണ്ട്. എല്ലാ ടീച്ചേഴ്സും ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത് കുട്ടികളൊക്കെ അടുത്ത് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നതാണ്, അല്ലേ? അത് പലപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ ആഗ്രഹിക്കാറുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ ഏറ്റവും പുറകിലേക്ക് പോകും. നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ മാത്രമേ നമ്മളെ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുകയുള്ളൂ. നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാത്ത ഒരു കാര്യങ്ങളും മറ്റുള്ളവരെ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യരുത്. എനിക്ക് മദ്യം മോശമാണെന്ന് പറയണമെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ആദ്യം മദ്യം നിർത്തണം. മറ്റുള്ളവരെ കുറിച്ച് കുറവ് പറയുന്നത് മോശമെന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ അതെൻ്റെ ജീവിതത്തിലേക്ക് വരണം. അതായത് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നോ അത് മാത്രമേ മറ്റുള്ളവർ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂ, അത് നടക്കുകയുള്ളൂ. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി അർപ്പിക്കുക. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാം നല്ല ടീച്ചേഴ്സാണ്. ഞാൻ ചിലയിടത്തൊക്കെ കുട്ടികളോട് ചോദിക്കും, ആ ടീച്ചർ എങ്ങനെയാണ്? ഒരു ടീച്ചറെ കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞു, പക്ഷേ ആ ടീച്ചറെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഇരുന്നാൽ മതി, കേട്ടാൽ മതി, പരീക്ഷയ്ക്ക് എഴുതാൻ പറ്റും, അത്രമാത്രം ക്രിസ്റ്റൽ ക്ലിയർ ആണ്. ഒരാൾ പറഞ്ഞു എന്നോട് എന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ചല്ല. അല്ല, ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കാറുണ്ട് കുട്ടികളോട്. ചില കുട്ടികളോട് ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ ദേ ആർ വെരി ഗുഡ്, നല്ല ടീച്ചറാണ്. ടീച്ചർ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലാണ് പറയുന്നത്, മലയാളത്തിലല്ല. ടീച്ചർ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത് നിങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് എനിക്ക് വലിയ മതിപ്പുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും തന്നെ കാലിബറുള്ളവരാണ് നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും. ടോപ്പിക് എന്താണ്? ലിവറേജിംഗ് റിസർച്ച്, ഫിലോസഫി ആൻഡ് ടെക്നോളജി. അതായത് മാക്സിമം യൂസ് ഓഫ് റിസർച്ച്, ഫിലോസഫി ആൻഡ് ടെക്നോളജി. ആം ഐ കറക്റ്റ് സർ? യെസ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ കഴിവ് കാലിബർ മാക്സിമം യൂസ് ചെയ്താൽ തീർച്ചയായും പീസ്ഫുൾ ലൈഫ് ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാം ഈ ദിവസത്തിന്റെ എല്ലാവിധ നന്മകൾ നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു.
To introduce our esteemed resource person, I invite Ms. Dancy Joseph, President of IICA.
2006 and as a member of Academic Council from 2011 to 2016. He completed his Masters in Library Science with the first rank in 1978 and earned his PhD in 1989, both from the University of Mysore. With an impressive record of over 220 publications in the reputed journals, conferences and seminar proceedings, as well as 13 books and edited volumes, Dr. Ramashesh has made significant contributions to the advancement of library and information science. He has successfully guided 13 PhD scholars, nurturing the future academicians and researchers. In recognition of his outstanding service, he received the State Award from the Department of Public Libraries, Government of Kannur, in 2015 for his meritorious contribution to the field of library and information science. Dr. Ramashesh has also represented India on international platform, visiting various countries like USA, Britain, France, Germany, and Czech Republic, Italy, and Japan. We are privileged to have such an eminent scholar and academic leader with us today. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. C.P. Ramashesh, our esteemed chief guest. Welcome, sir.
Improving the originality of research output and improving the quality of research output on the whole. In this direction, several measures have been taken by national bodies like University Grant Commission, All India Council of Technical Education, Indian Council of Medical Research, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, including Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Teachers and researchers are expected to publish research papers from time to time. When you contribute research papers to journals, invariably it has to be in a journal carrying international standard serial number. It's a must. When you contribute your research article to journals, invariably it should be in a journal carrying international serial number. Otherwise, it will not be considered for academic scores. And if you bring out books, that book should carry ISBN number, International Standard Book Number. Even if your college organizes a national seminar, national conference or national workshop, in that case, if you intend to bring out conference volume or seminar volume, that volume should carry ISBN number. If it doesn't carry, then whole bunch of 40 to 50 articles will be a waste. This ISBN number is given by Rajaram Mohan Rai National Agency for ISBN. It's a department attached to Ministry of Human Resource Development. The service is free of charge. You are supposed to upload the title page of your book along with the details that is there on the verse of the title page. That's all. It's a 1.5 page details you are supposed to upload, and they will give you ISBN number. This is just to have control what is being published in the country. The government of India is willing to control over the publications in the country. So ISBN number is a must, ISSN number is a must, and please note this one. Then further, if you attend interview elsewhere, the chairman board of appointment or the members will ask you how many of your research articles or any articles are published in refereed journals or peer-reviewed journals. Probably you have heard of refereed journals. They ask you refereed journals. Before accepting your research paper, they will ask you how many of your papers are published in refereed journals. So referees will be there. They go through your article. They may suggest you to update the concluding part. They may suggest you to update the statistical part. Or they may ask you to render citations, references in a definite format. Then finally they will communicate you your article has been accepted and it will be published in the forthcoming issue of the volume. It's a must. Please note this one. Refereed journals or peer-reviewed journals. Then sole authorship. Now the latest trend is how many of your research papers are there in your name. Alone, how many articles you have published? Sole authorship. Further, they will ask you in how many articles you are there as first author. First author. If you are there as the second author or third author or fourth author, there is no value. They will not consider of late because according to UGC, the first author will carry 70% of the score. The remaining authors will share the remaining 30%. That is to say, if you contribute a research article at university level, conference article, the marks allotted academic score is 3. The first author will get 2, the second author will get 0.5 and the third author will get 0.5. Even though you are the researcher, you have collected the data, you have written the article, if you are there as the second author, you will get only 0.5. The first author will get 70% of the score. Therefore, please make note of this one. At the time of interview, they will ask you how many articles you are there as the first author, or alone how many articles you have contributed. That is the latest trend. Then journal with high impact factor. You are supposed to know. After 2 or 3 years, you will come across people asking impact factor of your journal articles. Because most of you, all of you are youngsters, we have got a lot of service to render. Therefore, you are supposed to remember some of these things I will be stressing upon here and there. So impact factor, what is impact factor? How do you calculate impact factor? If you contribute a research article to journal, the quality of the journal is determined by its impact factor. Say for example, Talenta is a journal in the field of chemistry. It's a monthly journal. In a year there will be 12 issues. For 2 years there will be 24 issues. If each issue carries 10 articles, on an average, if each issue carries 10 articles, for 2 years there will be 240 articles. For 1 year, 120 articles. For 2 years there will be 240 articles. How many references have appeared in various journals published throughout the world? Say for example 1000. 1000 references have appeared in various chemistry journals taken from this Talenta over a period of 2 years. So total number of references divided by total number of articles published in that journal over a period of 2 years gives rise to the impact factor. So quality is determined based on the extent of use. Please note this one. Quality is determined based on the extent of use. So impact factor speaks about the quality of the journal you are contributing your research paper. If you contribute a research paper to a journal whose impact factor is 10, it is equivalent to successfully guiding for a PhD degree. To guide a PhD degree, you may take 5 years. The academic score given is maximum 10. If you write a one-page article and it is published in a journal whose impact factor is 10, you will be getting 10 score. 10 score means almost equivalent to successfully as a guide, successfully guiding for a PhD degree. Therefore, I would like to cite an example. There is a journal by title Current Science. Current Science is #1 journal, best journal in the field of general science from India. It is being published from Raman Research Institute and Indian Academy of Science. Indian Academy of Science publishes Current Science, fortnightly journal, once in 15 days. 4 years ago, the impact factor of Current Science was 0.38. 0.1 journal, best journal from India in the field of general science. 4 years ago, the impact factor was 0.38. With all effort, now they have brought it to 1.09. 1.09 or 1 point something is the impact factor of current science in the field of general science from India. On the other hand, we have Nature. You must have heard of Nature, weekly journal from London. 2 years ago, the impact factor was 62.5. Now it is 70. Where is 70? Where is 1.9? 1.9. Therefore, it is said if you publish a one-page article in Nature, it is more than publishing 30 articles in current science. So, if a person publishes one article in Nature, one-page article, it is not equivalent to 30 articles published in current science. Therefore, UGC and other national bodies, they take into consideration the impact factor of the journal in which you have contributed your research paper. Very important. Principal Secretary, government of every state, they will be asking the university registrar to send the journals with impact factor. Then next is H-index. H-index speaks about the quality of the institution. There is H-index for individual university, H-index for individual college, H-index for individual department, and H-index for individual faculty member or research scholar. If I say my H-index is 40, I might have published 300 papers for the past 30 years. If I say my H-index is 40, out of 300 papers, 40 of my papers have got minimum 40 referring authors, citing authors. Each of these articles carry minimum 40 citing authors, 40 and more than 40 citing authors. If I say my H-index is 60 articles carry minimum of 60 citations. All the 60 articles, there are minimum 60 citing authors. So there lies the quality of the journal. It also indicates that on average how many citings are there for every article. Mysore University presently the H-index is 126. Vice Chancellor is very happy. Last week asked me what is the H-index of Mysore University. Earlier it was 102, now it is 126. Altogether, according to Scopus and Web of Science. Have you heard of Scopus and Web of Science? Very important. I will be stressing upon some of the aspects you are supposed to remember, because after 2 or 3 years, people will come with all these details. They will ask you. So impact factor, don't forget that one. H-index, don't forget this one. So there are, according to Scopus and Web of Science, there are 2 citation indexes which determines the quality of research papers published by institutions and individual faculty members. So according to Scopus, there are 11,000 research articles published by Mysore University over the past 110 years. 11,000. Out of 11,000, there are 126 research papers carrying minimum of 126 citing authors. So that is H-index. When UGC review committee comes to the university, they say why librarians are very particular about H-index. Why can't you go for I-10 criteria? Another criteria is there to calculate the quality of publications, research. I-10 criteria. What is I-10 criteria? You have published 100 papers. How many papers have been cited by 10 authors? I have have published 100 papers. I-10 60 means 60 of my papers have been cited by minimum 10 authors. That is I-10 criteria. I-10 100 means 100 research papers of mine carry minimum of 10 citing authors. So 10 citing authors, the I-10 criteria. There are G index also, M index also are there. The next one is, all these are citation metrics, qualitative performance, calculating qualitatively the research performance. All metrics takes up the quality aspect of research paper. So comments expressed by various researchers or the research paper will be collected by software. There is a software, Altmetric software. It will collect the expert comments on our research papers. That takes into consideration the qualitative aspect of research paper. Finally, percentage of similar content. We are using software packages. Have you heard of plagiarism? Another aspect, very important. UGC says every teacher, every research scholar, and those who are doing master's degree, they should be given orientation regarding the prevention of plagiarism. Very important. There is gazette notification by Government of India. So prevention of plagiarism. So it indicates what percentage of your research paper or thesis is original. If the software indicates 50%, that is to say 50% originality is there, then what about the remaining 50%? The remaining 50% you have copied from various authors. It will indicate the source from where you have copied. In the next day, it will retrieve the paragraphs. It will retrieve the sentences you have copied. You can verify side by side the text you have copied and your original manuscript. So there is no argument at all. One cannot argue. They have tried to argue, but unnecessarily it is not required. So software will retrieve the paragraph and also the source copied by the researchers. Software packages are there. Percentage of similar content means whatever that is copied will be indicated, treated as similar content. Higher the percentage of similar content, lower is the quality of research paper. Lower the percentage of similar content, higher is the quality of research paper. These are the 8 aspects that are considered to determine the quality of research publications or thesis, PhD thesis. So what is academic integrity? Intellectual honesty. Intellectual honesty in proposing. What is proposing? We are preparing research synopsis. We are giving project proposals, and all these come under proposing. One should be honest and sincere in submitting the synopsis, in giving the research proposals. The second one is performing. Performing means you will be collecting data, you will go for field work, you will be doing experimentation, you will record the observation. One should be sincere and honest in collecting the data, collecting the responses, collecting the opinion, field work, etc. Performing. Then reporting. Reporting means writing the research article, writing the thesis, writing the research paper. All these are nothing but research reporting. One should be sincere in writing the research report or writing the thesis or writing the research reports. So this is academic integrity. UGC expects the teachers and the researchers to be honest in conducting the research and reporting the research work. Now cut corners. All these are idioms and phrases. I have collected idioms and phrases. This will depict academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism, including research ethics. Very important aspect. Research ethics. UGC speaks about research ethics. So cut corners. Submission with minor alteration amounts to self-plagiarism rehash. Cut corners. For example, tomorrow one of my friends will approach me and he says, next month we are organizing one national seminar. We are bringing out a conference volume. If a paper is ready see that it is published in the conference volume. In that case, what I do, I will take one of the papers published 6 months ago. I will alter the title of the article. First paragraph, I will revise the first paragraph. Here and there, I will delete some of the sentences. Thoroughly, I will alter the concluding part and I will update the references. I will submit the same article for publication. I have already published 6 months ago. So cut corners here and there. I will delete some of the paragraphs, some of the sentences, and I will give it to somebody for publication. They will see that it is published in the conference volume. This is nothing but rehash. This has to be avoided. This is not ethical. Cut corners and submit the same for publication. Next one is salami slicing. Refers to knowingly splitting the results to maximize the number of publications. For example, I will take up a research work on use of newspapers and magazines in libraries with broad one objective or hypothesis. So I am doing research on use of newspapers and magazines in libraries. So I have collected the data from all of you, 100 responses. Ultimately, what I am going to do, I will publish one paper on use of Hindi newspapers in libraries. Number 2, use of sports magazines in libraries. Then number 3, use of English newspapers in libraries. So I will be splitting. By collecting the data for responses from you, I have projected one broad objective. So ultimately what I am going to do, I will split into 4 articles. Had I told you earlier that I would be publishing 4 articles, your responses would have been different. So this amounts to unethical treatment of the research aspect. Then fabrication refers to inventing data, imaginary data, cooked up data, false data, imaginary data. This has to be avoided. Then falsification refers to misrepresenting the data. For example, 49% of the students are regularly attending the class. I am going to interpret this one as large majority of the students are regularly attending the class. 49% is not the large majority, it is even less than 50%, half of the population. This is misrepresentation. And while depicting the statistics in a graphical vertical bar diagrams, I will say that not much difference is there in bar A and bar B, vertical bar A and bar B. Actually, if you refer to data, there is vast difference. But I have drawn the graph in such a way that not much difference is there in bar A and bar B, misrepresenting the data. Then authorship abuse. Authorship abuse means I am including one of my friends for having obtained some favor. I am including my colleague, name of my colleague as the first author. I belong to library science, he belongs to chemistry. People wonder how come this chemistry man is there in the research article of library science. This is authorship, this has to be avoided. Publication misconduct includes ghost authorship. You must be familiar with the ghost authorship. The original name of the original author is not revealed at all. He is writing on behalf of somebody. Ghost authorship, gift authorship, for having obtained some favor. I am writing a research article in his name, or I am including his name as the first author. Gift authorship. Next one is sold authorship. Sold authorship. In Delhi, there are a number of retired professors or experts. So if you give the data, or if you collect the responses and give the data sheets, they say that the thesis is ready within 3 to 4 months. They collect 3 lakh rupees, 4 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees. Sold authorship. Then finally, disputed authorship. Disputed authorship means it doesn't belong to that particular subject. Anyway, his name is there as the first author or second author. All these come under unethical treatment of research aspect. Then plagiarized content. Plagiarization, don't forget plagiarism. Borrowing, what is plagiarism? Borrowing the ideas of others, not the sentences, not the paragraph. Please note that. Borrowing the ideas of others and presenting them as if they are my idea without citing the source or without giving credit to the author is plagiarism. I am repeating again. Borrowing the ideas of others and presenting them as if they are my ideas without citing the source, without showing the original source, or without giving credit to the original author is treated as plagiarism. It is literary theft or stealing someone's ideas and later on telling lies. This is the definition for plagiarism content. Then predatory conferences. Predatory conferences and predatory journals are there. Predatory conferences means sometimes teachers belonging to physical education or any other subject, they organize national conference. They invite you to be there as director of the conference. They invite you to be there as chairman of a session or editor of a volume, assistant editor of a volume, rapporteur of the session. Like that, they will be inviting you to be there as some lead role. They collect from you 5,000 rupees or 7,000 rupees as conference fee. They go away, they disappear overnight with 5 lakh, 6 lakh rupees. They spend only for conducting giving DA to resource person and hosting lunch, that's all. So predatory means making money and disappear overnight. So people belonging to some other subject, they come together, they invite you to be there, they make money and disappear. UG says you are not supposed to take part in that conferences and seminar. In case if you are there or if you have contributed research article or if you have presented a research paper, that will not be considered for promotion, that will not be considered for academic score, that will not be considered for scholarship or fellowship. Please note this. So predatory conferences are there, organized for making money. Scholars are invited for chairing sessions and serve as editors. Then common knowledge. For example, all men are mortal. Socrates is a man, therefore Socrates is mortal. And this is a popular statement of Aristotle. Need not be, this doesn't require references or citation. Popular sentences, proverbs and laws, acts need not be cited. Predatory journals are there. This will be there for 3 years, 4 years. While contributing research article to journals, especially online journals, you have to be very careful. If you contribute a research article to predatory journal, that will not be considered by UGC or any other organization. For promotion, for academic score, for fellowship, that will not be considered. Predatory journals and predatory conferences. Then no harm. Experiments and research outcomes should not be harmful to the environment, society. It should not be abuse of the authorities as well. Confidentiality I have to maintain. All these come under research ethics. Research ethics, plagiarism is one of the aspects. Then finally, whistleblower. If you think that a research work is nothing but abuse of authorities, wastage of resources, wastage of funds, you can bring it to the attention of the authorities. This is whistleblowing. American Psychological Society has conducted a research on these various aspects that come under research ethics. Here you see plagiarism is to the extent of 7%. Then redundancy is to the extent of 24%. Redundancy means repeated publication. Then duplication is to the extent of 15%. Data fabrication is to the extent of 8%, like that. CARE, Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. CARE, Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics, formulated by UGC to monitor quality in publications. So research ethics covers fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, and unethical treatment of subjects. It's there. UGC will not consider for selection if you have taken part in a predatory conferences or seminar, or if you have published research article in the predatory journal, that will not be considered for selection. If you attend an interview, if you bring it to the attention of interviewers, your publication, that will not be considered for selection. It will not be considered promotion. It will not be considered for academic score or credentials. It will not be considered for scholarship. There is gazette notification by Government of India. Plagiarism. Definition I already made clear. Borrowing the ideas. If you consider the ideas and write it in your own language, if you alter the technical term or if you change the sentences, even then it is treated as plagiarism because you are borrowing the ideas, not the sentences or not the paragraphs. Borrowing the ideas, don't forget ideas. Blatant plagiarism. If you copy beyond 75% of the publication, it is treated as blatant plagiarism. Then potluck paper, ideas taken from many papers. You keep 5 or 6 research papers, collect ideas from 2 or 3 paragraphs from A, paper A, B, 2 or 3 paragraphs like that. If you collect ideas from 6 to 7 papers, it is treated as potluck paper. Words which alter keywords and phrases and write it in your own language, even then it is treated as plagiarism because you are borrowing the ideas. Then mosaic, paraphrase most of the papers. Keep 10 to 15 papers and paraphrase the ideas. Self-stealing, borrow from his own papers. Self-plagiarism, you already published 1 year ago. Same paper you are publishing it for the second time, third time, that has to be avoided. Ghost author, the original author is not revealed at all. So he is writing on behalf of somebody, ghost authorship. Nobody said don't copy. You are free to copy. If you want to paraphrase or if you want to copy as it is, you are free to copy. As it is, if you want to copy, the sentences should be within quotes, within quotation mark, followed by citations. If you want to take the sentences or paragraphs as it is, you are welcome. You are free to take the sentences as it is, but those sentences have to be within inverted commas. Or if you take the ideas and write it in your language, or if you want to paraphrase or summarize the content that is there in 2 or 3 pages, you have to render the citation without inverted comma. There are software packages. We have so far scanned about 4,000 doctoral theses between 2013 and 2025. Till today, we have scanned about 4,000 PhD theses. We have used Authenticate and Turnitin. These two are #1 American software packages. We have used Urkund, Swedish software. We have used original software from Germany. And we have, of late, we are using Drillbit. UGC is facilitating access to Drillbit software now. As of today, we are using Drillbit software. This is from Bangalore-based company. In the beginning, UGC facilitated access to Authenticate and Turnitin. Both are American anti-plagiarism software. If I upload my article or my thesis, for example, I will upload my thesis onto Authenticate. Here it is Authenticate, number one software in the world. Please note, I am telling you, there are only 2 authoritative software packages in the world. One is Authenticate and another is Turnitin. There are only 2. Both are American-based company, iParadigms, California, USA. From the same institution, RightCheck, Authenticate and Turnitin. Very useful and authoritative anti-plagiarism software. No other software So if I upload my doctoral thesis, it will take 15 minutes. It will verify against 7,000 crore pages within 15 minutes. They have purchased 1,15,000 journals to verify. About several lakhs of e-books, lakhs of research papers, lakhs of conference and seminar proceedings. The software will verify against 7,000 crore pages and it will give the report within 15 minutes. Both the anti-plagiarism software, Authenticate and Turnitin. Authenticate is for doctoral thesis and research institution. Turnitin is for master's degree dissertation and student dissertation. For student submission, they recommend Turnitin. For research reports and research institutions, CSR laboratories, they recommend Authenticate anti-plagiarism software with lot of features. Here, I have scanned my doctoral thesis with the Authenticate anti-plagiarism software. It has given the report like this. On the top, on the right hand side top, you can see 50%. That is to say, 50% of the content is original, my contribution. The remaining 50%, it is telling me that you have copied from various sources. What are those sources? These are the sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, further is there. From source number 1, it is telling that I have copied up to 35%. Source number 2, I have copied up to 4%. Source number 3, 3%. Source number 4, up to 2%. Like that, it will indicate. In the next stage, it will allow me to verify that. Another case of Authenticate. Another research paper, now it is telling me that 38% of the content is original. 38%. The remaining 62% is telling that you have copied from various sources, not original. This will not be accepted by any organization. UGC will not accept, AICT will not accept, ICMR will not accept, ICAR will not accept, even research labs will not accept. So, only 38% is original, remaining 62% you have copied. Blatant plagiarism. In the next stage, I have selected one of these aspects. You see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. These are here. I have clicked on number 1. Then further, next it will indicate like this. Left hand side is my thesis manuscript. Right hand side is the paragraphs and sentences I have copied. It is telling that you have copied from this internet website. So only the heading is original, education. Rest of the content the researcher has copied, blatant plagiarism. Everything he has copied and the source is indicated here. The content paragraphs and the lines are indicated here, except a few words here and there he has omitted. Case 2, again Authenticate. Here the author has copied even the heading also. Everything is copied. And these 2 paragraphs he has copied from this particular source. Again it is internet source. He has copied 2 paragraphs. This is another case. What the author has done, he has taken the last sentence and made it as first sentence. First sentence he has made it as the last sentence. But the software will indicate that also. It will not get excluded. It will indicate even if you change the sequence of words and paragraphs, it will identify. The software will identify. This is a Urkund Swedish software. UGC recommended all 300 universities to go for Urkund software, Swedish software. Swedish. In India, nobody is submitting thesis in Swedish language. So nearly 70% of the content in this software is Swedish research reports and doctoral thesis. So here is the manuscript and here is the original source. This is again, he has copied the entire paragraph. entire paragraph, whatever the content that is there, the author has copied. The anti-plagiarism software used is Urkund, Swedish software. Who has to decide whether it is plagiarized content or not? Who has to decide? Faculty member will not decide, librarian will not decide, because in 300 universities, UGC has given anti-plagiarism software to librarians, university librarians. Librarian will not decide. He will facilitate access to the software. The researcher will scan and the guides will scan. Who has to decide whether it is plagiarized content or not? The guide and the researcher. Together they have to decide whether it is a plagiarized content to be excluded or to be retained. He has to decide. There are only two alternatives. If you want to retain, no complaints will be there in future. If the guide and the researcher thinks on these lines, you can retain the paragraph. One alternative. Second alternative, if you are doubtful, next you have to exclude the paragraph or render citation. Either exclusion or render citation to avoid complaint. Here is an option. If you put a tick against this box, it will get excluded. Whatever that is highlighted will get excluded. The guide and the researcher have to decide. For example, there are two sentences here. I have depicted two sentences. After the class, many students move towards the canteen or hostel for lunch. They go by walk on the road for about 10 to 15 minutes and reach the hostel. So now I have copied this sentence. Will there be any complaint against this one? Borrowing the ideas. Any core idea is there in this sentence? No, if you copy, nobody will complain because no core idea is there. If you copy the second sentence, survey depicts that 45.3% of the students are vegetarians and the rest 54.7 are non-vegetarians. Vegetarians rely upon the college hostel for lunch and the rest of the students take non-vegetarian food from the outside restaurant. If I copy the second sentence, definitely there will be complaint because somebody will say that he has taken my data because you are quoting 43.3, 54.7. You are taking the data who has done some research work. So this should be avoided. Here, either you have to exclude one alternative. Second one is if you want to retain, render the citation. From where you have taken, you have to indicate name of the author, title of the book or title of the article, name of the journal, volume number, issue number, starting page of the article, ending page of the article. If it is a book, author, title, place of publication, publisher and year of publication. This is another case. 98% plagiarism, blatant plagiarism. UGC director took a session at Manasangotri, Mysore University. Then in the course of discussion he said, day before yesterday we scanned a doctoral thesis for plagiarism check. It indicated 98% of similar content. PhD thesis, 98% similar content. Then he said, probably the title might be original. Therefore that 2% is not there. If you want to take the content and express in your own language, in that case, those sentences will be considered or highlighted as similar content. Even if you render citation, the sentences will be highlighted. All those sentences will come under similar content. One of the aspects I would like to bring to your attention is all the universities have set certain percentage for similar content. Mysore University has fixed 30%, UGC has fixed 10%, JNU has fixed 25% for science departments and 35% for arts department. Goa University preliminary chapters 20%, core research chapters 10%. Then technological university they have fixed 25%. What is this one? 30%, 10%, 25%. 95% of the faculty members and 95% of research scholars are under the opinion. Plagiarism, sir. What is this 30% indicated or fixed by Mysore city? Plagiarism. That means to say, up to 30% you can copy. This is the idea in the mind of researchers in almost all the universities. Plagiarism is theft. Literally, that Mysore University is allowing theft up to the percent of 30%. No, it is not plagiarized content. It is similar content, not plagiarized content. Plagiarized content, even 1% should not be there. One definition should not be there in the thesis. Recently, in Alappe, there is a college. One of the researchers he came and showed me a research report published by C.N.R. Rao. You have heard of C.N.R. Rao, Bharataratna. C.N.R. Rao. One of his research articles have been retracted. Retracted means withdrawn. The foreign publishers, if they receive complaints after 2 months, after 6 months, then they publish in the forthcoming issue. The article published in a previous issue by so and so stands withdrawn. One of the articles published by C.N.R. along with 2 researchers have been withdrawn, retracted papers from HP publishers, foreign publishers, American publishers. And Drillbit anti-plagiarism software, Bangalore-based company. It facilitates scanning of Malayalam thesis, Telugu thesis, Tamil thesis, Kannada thesis. Even there is an organization in Kochi. It will facilitate scanning of doctoral thesis in Malayalam. It will be like this: name of the author, title of the thesis, then file number, language, then quality, artificial intelligence. If the researcher has used artificial intelligence to draft the paragraph, to draft the chapters and thesis, the software will identify that one. That's how the report will be there if you use Drillbit anti-plagiarism software. The drawback of the software is they have not purchased any e-book, e-journal or conference proceedings. What is freely available on the web, it will consider Drillbit, plus all the thesis that is there in Sholganga database. Have you heard of Sholganga? Sholganga, digital repository of doctoral thesis available in 900 Indian universities. As of today, 840 universities they have considered. So, digital repository of doctoral thesis available in about 800 Indian universities. As of today, 630,000 theses are there. Drillbit covers all the theses. So recently we started receiving complaints. Recently, in one of the colleges, they conducted interview for the post of assistant professor. The principal happened to be the chairman of the selection committee. One of the candidates appeared for the interview. Then the principal asked him, "What's your research topic?" Then he said, "My topic is this." Principal was astonished. "How come this man is telling my research topic?" Then he said, "Further, have you brought the copy of the thesis?" "Yes, sir, I have." "Please hand over, let me have a look at the thesis." He handed over the thesis. Same data, same table, same interpretation. Then he was astonished. Then he said, "You leave the thesis with me, you can collect in the evening around 6 o'clock. Then after 1 week, he wrote a complaint to the university. University, according to the Gazette notification, they formulated a committee. The guide was also summoned. The guide said, as far as the quality of the thesis is concerned, there is no problem. As far as the content of the thesis is concerned, there is no problem. But the student never told me that he copied them from this particular thesis. I was kept in total darkness. I cannot do anything." So guide escaped. The student was expected to respond to the plagiarism. This was one of the cases. And recently, about 3 months back, one of the researchers submitted the thesis in 2016. The thesis was scanned with Authenticate anti-plagiarism software. that indicated 16% of similar content. Another researcher, B, copied the same thesis in 2022. This was awarded in 2016. Another researcher copied the same thesis and he submitted his thesis in 2022. That thesis was scanned with original anti-plagiarism software or Woodkund anti-plagiarism software. That indicated 3%. Only 3%. He was extremely happy. Even that thesis B was also awarded PhD degree. Both the theses were awarded doctoral degree. Accidentally during 2024, this thesis B was scanned with drill bit software that indicated 83% of similar content. University has fixed 30% for similar content. This thesis indicated 83% of similar content. Then the student, the research student was called for explanation. Then he said, sir, had your software indicated 83% during 2022, I would have redrafted my thesis. Now you are telling after 2 years. Now university did not accept. The registrar said in the committee, you have copied the entire thesis. I will give you a chance. If you have used one extra word of your own, in the entire thesis, if you have used one word of your own, I will accept your thesis. He brought influence. He brought MLAs, MLCs and all that. They also, he's a very nice boy, very honest boy, very sincere research worker. No sir, if you have used one extra word apart from the original thesis what he has copied, we will accept. Now entire 100% similar content. The thesis was withdrawn. About 3 months back, the thesis was withdrawn with information to the UGC to exclude that particular thesis uploaded onto Shodhganga website. Another case. References. Teachers should be familiar with the references. They should be familiar with the references, and uniformity and consistency should be followed. You will be in trouble if you do not know the references. There are referencing styles. Have you heard of referencing styles? Referencing styles are there. You have to maintain uniformity and consistency. You must be familiar with the referencing style. This style is indicated by your guide or head of the department. Uniformity should be maintained. Style, referencing style. Then in-text references are there, or in-text references are. In-text means along with the draft, you will include surname of the author with year of publication. Complete details will be in the end. Or in-text means after the paragraph, the name of the surname of the author and year of publication will be there, and references will be at the end of the article or thesis. So I would like to ask one simple question. You must be familiar with references. I've heard of references. References. At the end of a thesis or at the end of any article, there will be references. List of sources, references. You have also heard of bibliography. Bibliography. Is there any difference between bibliography and references?
Bibliography is wider term than reference.
Pardon?
Bibliography is wider term than reference. In bibliography, we can cite any books or any journal we have there. But in reference, we can only cite the journal or books from where we have copied the.
Yes, you are right. Thank you. In many of the cases, we have come across researchers or faculty members using bibliographical references. They think that they are synonymous words. No. Bibliography is different and references are different. Bibliography means a list of sources consulted. For example, I have included 5 books. I have not taken any information, I have not taken any definition, any paragraph, any statistics or any chart, but it is an important source on the topic of my research. I have included under bibliography. Bibliography. References means for having taken a definition, for having taken a statistical table, For having taken a paragraph, I must indicate the source. All such sources come under references. Usually references will be there at the end of every chapter and bibliography will be there at the end of the thesis. So bibliography means list of sources read or consulted. References means list of sources cited or referred. We have taken some information. For having taken some definition or information, I am rendering the references, complete details. So there is difference between references and bibliography. These are references. In many cases we have come across in PhD Viva was the researcher, he will be presenting his research work. At the end, with all applause, they will end the session. The researcher will be extremely happy. I have completed my presentation. Anyway, they are going to announce the doctorate degree. So one person sitting in the last bench, he will ask a question. Which referencing style you have adopted in your thesis? Which referencing style you have adopted in your thesis? If the student is not aware of the referencing style, then the audience will turn towards the guide. The guide is expected to answer. If the guide doesn't answer, it is a pathetic situation. Referencing style, very important. So, American Psychological Association, most of you or all of you, you are supposed to adopt social sciences and some of the subjects that come under social sciences. They adopt American Psychological Association format. MLA, Modern Language Association, then mathematics students, mathematics is there in your college. So mathematics researchers, they may prefer American Mathematical Society format. There is a particular format. Oxford System of Referencing, literature, English, rendering references in a natural order as a footnotes. Oxford System of Referencing, Harvard System of Referencing, similar to APS type. Then IEEE, engineering student, they are asked to follow IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. Then Vancouver reference type, Canadian. Then British Standard referencing style, 1, 2, 3. Under bibliography or references, he will say 1, 2, 3 and render the complete details. If you are not good in rendering references manually, I am not good in rendering references manually. Capital letter, small letter, all punctuation, colon, comma, and hyphen, and all that capital letter, small letter, surname of the author, forename of the author, within parentheses. Uniformity and consistency should be maintained for books, for journals, for conference proceedings, for thesis. There is a different format is there. If you are not familiar or if you are not good in rendering references, there are software packages, reference managers. So if you upload the entire bibliography, it will arrange systematically. The software will arrange according to the accepted format. Whatever format you accept, the software will within 10-15 seconds it will arrange the entire 300 references in a particular format. Software is there, EndNote, product of Clarivate Analytics, then Mendeley, product of Elsevier, Papers, product of Springer, and Zotero. Zotero is a free software, open source software, free software. If you upload the references onto Zotero, it will arrange. If there are any mistakes in rendering citation, the software will rectify. So there are software packages. Thesis language. Intentionally I have included this one, thesis language. Chapters. While commencing the chapter, you should not commence with negative sentence. It is not at all important to say, no, negative sentences should not be there if you commence the chapter. Beginning of the chapter should not be negative sentence. Then do not use vague words like probably, perhaps, about, nearly. But as a researcher, you must conduct research, collect the data, do experiment and observe the precisely. 49.2% of the respondents indicate like that. Nearly or most of the, probably half of the like that vague word should not be used as a research. Then any draft, whether it is a book or research article or doctoral thesis, nowhere you should use I. I am of the opinion, no, I should not be used. We are of the opinion. According to me, when I went there, no, I should not be used. We should not be used. It is concluded. The researcher is of the opinion. It is decided like that. Third person singular. Avoid common mistakes in English or tense. If you commence the explanation in past tense, uniformity should be there. Continuously, the tense should be maintained. Why do scholars plagiarize? Why do scholars plagiarize? It is mainly because of lack of command over English language. If you write introductory chapter, usually introductory chapter will be 20 to 25 pages. If you write introductory chapter up to 100 pages, definitely similar content will increase. Because anyway, introductory chapter is not your research work. Definitions, methodology, then limitations of the study, like that, need for the study. You will be drawing the content from various published sources. So, researchers are advised not to write more than 20-25 pages. If they write 100 pages, similar content will be 50%. And even review of literature, usually first introduction will be the first chapter, review of literature will be second chapter. Review of literature, we advise them to consider only 30 to 40 highly relevant articles. 30 to 40, don't write beyond 30 pages. If you want to write beyond 30 pages or if you want to include 100 publications, you have to write the review in your language. You must understand the entire subject and write the essay in your language. Or if you want to take the author abstract, if you write the review of literature 100 pages or 200 pages, similar content will go beyond 60%. Now researchers have become very intelligent. Earlier, on average, the thesis number of pages used to be 250 to 300 pages. Now it has drastically come down to 130 to 170 pages. Recently, one of the researcher from management department, he brought a thesis of 730 pages. He expected the librarian to comment on his thesis. You see, sir, you comment on my thesis. He said, the librarian said, it is neatly bound, providing gold embossing and French joint and all. It looks very aesthetic. But you have brought a bulky thesis. Probably the similar content will be beyond 50%. So when we scanned the thesis using Authenticate, it indicated 73% of similar content. Then he went back, he came after 3 months, revising the thesis. At that time it was only 170 pages. That 700 pages, he brought down to 170 pages. You cannot write 700 pages. How can you write? You will be collecting the data, tabulating the data, interpreting the data, drawing the inferences, drawing the recommendations and conclusion. You cannot write 700 pages unless it is English literature or philosophy. Research on English literature or Kannur literature, Malayalam literature, or philosophy or religion, it is a descriptive research. You can describe any number of pages. Scientific research means you will be interpreting the data. What is collected data, tabulating the data and interpreting the data, drawing inferences. That will not go beyond 200 pages, literally, unless similar research has been done by so and so in Australia during 3 years ago, and he has also come across the same findings. Like that, references here and there you can include. These are the anti-plagiarism software, popular anti-plagiarism software being used all over the world. Authenticate, Turnitin, RightCheck are from the same company, American company. Then Viper is an open source software, free. Flag Aware is a German software. Flag Scan, again, it's a German software. Urkund, Swedish software. UGC promoted Urkund between 2016 and 2021. Then Dokolok, German. Plagiarism Checker, Flag Tracker, Original. We used original anti-plagiarism software between 2021 and 2024 as per the instruction of UGC. Since last year, almost 1 year, we are relying upon Drillbit, number 12. Drillbit from Bangalore-based company. Authenticate and Turnitin supports 30 languages of the world. These are the 30 languages. Then what does it cover? It covers internet sources, cross-check references, conference, seminar proceedings, reports, research papers, publications in journals, periodical, institutional repositories. Software will highlight the textual information. It will highlight the textual information. Please note that if you copy tables, graphs, photographs, diagrams, software will not identify. If you copy a photograph or if you copy some of the diagrams or photographs, software will not identify. Recently we have come across a complaint. It has gone to the High Court of Karnataka. One of the researchers has complained, your researcher has copied my Rangoli designs. Rangoli, you know Rangoli. He has copied Rangoli designs up to 73%. It's a case we have sent the thesis to the court. So graphs, images, photographs will not be considered by the software. It will highlight only the textual information. Exclude. You can exclude if you want to exclude review of literature. Yes, you can exclude. If you want to exclude a paragraph, yes. If you want to exclude introductory part, yes. Normally, all the universities and institutions advise the researchers or the authors to exclude preliminary pages, certificate, declaration, table of contents, acknowledgement, and all that they exclude. And appendix part, like definition of terms, glossary, questionnaire, like any explanation, the concluding part will be excluded. There, the students are advised to submit from introduction to conclusion, including bibliography. The software will scan and identify the similar content. So, in the beginning, we started excluding the methodology also. We received one complaint from Central Sericulture Research Board. One of the researchers said, your researcher from Mysore University has copied my methodology, which is a patented document. He is not supposed to copy my methodology. He has copied my methodology without my permission. He has not only copied, he has misinterpreted my methodology. There is a complaint. Since then we started including the methodology as well for plagiarism check. What happens? Alright, if I copy up to 70%, what is going to happen? If I copy up to 50%, what is going to happen? What has happened to people across the world or in our country? Immediate failure of research, retraction of research paper. Retraction means they will withdraw. You have already published that article. I am extremely happy. After 1 year, they say your article has been removed or withdrawn. Then blacklisting of scientists, subject of discussion in forum, punishable in the court of law, value of research is questionable. Repercussion, loss of job. Was forced to resign to the post of defense minister. Revoked PhD, lawsuits, questioned integrity, damage of reputation, brand name, retraction, damage loss, resource loss. Very interesting. This is from South Korean universities. 110 universities, altogether 179 professors are involved. What they have done is, they have taken 38 American textbooks. They have removed the outer cover page. They have replaced the outer cover page, same title with their names, and distributed among the students of the campus. Now they are facing criminal charges. 38 textbooks in the field of chemistry and engineering. This is Taylor and Francis. They regularly publish 1,200 journals. If they receive 100 articles for publication, now they are rejecting 23 articles out of 100. Beyond plagiarized content, beyond tolerance limit, 15%. Preliminary chapter. Goa University, Calicut University, and most of the universities in Kerala, they are allowing 20% for preliminary chapters. 20%. Introduction, review of literature, methods and materials, profile of the institution, publication of the research. If there are similar content, usually people will not complain against it. That's why they are allowing 20% in most of the universities in Goa as well as Kerala. And core chapters, analysis and interpretation of data, testing of hypotheses, findings and discussion, recommendation, further scope of research and conclusion. Here, similar content is not expected because you are collecting the data, you are interpreting the data, you are drawing the inferences, you are giving recommendations, and finally you are writing conclusion. Everything is original. There is no provision for similar content here unless you copy someone else's data. So therefore, universities are allowing only 10% from this core chapter. In the research article, similar content usually is there in the introductory chapter and definition. Rest of the portion has to be original. Now, bulk of the thesis has come down drastically. Bulk of the thesis now has come down drastically. Then you are not writing a book. Please note that there is difference between writing a book and writing a thesis or research report. In the case of book, you will be writing number of definitions, so many types, whatever information that is available, that is occurred to you, you will be indicating in the book. But doctoral thesis research means you will be focusing on the research problem. Everything, all chapters will be focusing on the research problem. In case of books, generally you will be writing, you will be giving the details, whatever that is available or occurred to you. Then content for submission from introduction to conclusion, including bibliography. Then your contribution and findings. What is your contribution? Finally, the evaluator will ask you, what is your contribution? Where is the research center? What is new in the thesis? What are the significant contribution of the researcher? What are the recommendations? You tell me the finding. You tell me the recommendation. Or you tell me, many vivavoce or in many interviews we used to ask them, what are the important findings of your research? Then further you will ask, but all right, you tell me 2 important findings of your research. Many of the interviews they fail. All right, you tell me 1 important finding of your thesis. They forget the title of. One of the students said, sir, title of my research thesis, you please ask my guide. Ramshesh is my guide. He will tell me my title of the thesis. Adequate measures have been taken to ensure originality of the research output. Below this statement, the guide and the researcher will put their signature. Librarian will forward the report or the certificate to the registrar. So, guide and the researcher will take the responsibility. Similar and plagiarized content different. Papers of researcher and guide, revision and resubmission. It's a fact-finding exercise, not fault-finding mission. Don't mistake it as a fault-finding. Many researchers will think that it's a fault-finding exercise. No, it's a fact-finding exercise. You can rectify the statement. Please note that. If you are not sure of the quotation, software will tell you the exact quotation. You can rectify it. If you don't know the exact quotation, if you have forgotten the quotation, if you cannot trace the original book or article in your library, software will retrieve the original quotation. If you have forgotten the quotation, you can rectify the quotation. Citation, if you don't know the second author, or if you don't know the year of publication, if you don't know the place of publication, software will tell you the complete details of bibliography. Then avoid plagiarism, trace the original content, reduce the percentage of plagiarism, improve the originality. UGC notification is there. Exclusion. UGC, according to UGC, similar content allowed is only 10%. How does the software work? It will go word by word. It will go word by word. Anti-plagiarism software used by this institution, it will go word by word. If the researcher has copied or not, it will go word by word. The instruction given to the software is consecutive 14 words according to UGC. UGC says 14 consecutive words. If you copy up to 14 words, it will not highlight. If you copy the 15th word, it will highlight from 1 to 15. If you get the instruction as 20 consecutive words, if you copy up to 20 words, it will not indicate, it will not highlight. If you copy the 21st word, it will highlight from 1 to 21st. That's how it works. For repeated plagiarism cases, the increment of the guide will be withheld. There is punishment also to the guide also, because the guides nowadays they hesitate to put their signature for dissertations and doctoral thesis, because the increment of the guide has to be withheld for repeated plagiarism scandal. How to overcome complaint of plagiarism? Paraphrase. Do not take the sentences as it is. Summarize. Paraphrase the sentences of the original article. Then cite. To avoid plagiarism complaint, you render references. I have taken from the paragraph from this research article, from this book. You give the complete details: author, title, place of publication, publisher, and year of publication. Quoting. If you want to take the sentences as it is, you would say very nicely the author has explained. Take the sentence as it is, or take the paragraph as it is. That should be within quotation mark with citation. If you have already published 1 year ago, or if you want to bring that entire paragraph what you have published 1 year ago, you have to render your references, your name. If you have published in journal, name of the article, title of the article, name of the journal should be there. Your own article should be cited, otherwise it will be treated as self-plagiarism. Repeatedly you are publishing the same content. Then reference. So uniformity and consistency should be followed. You must stick to one referencing style. Very important. Very important. Referencing style, you must be aware of that one. Whether it is APA style or any other style, uniformity and consistency should be maintained. Complete data should be there. Absence of a second author, absence of year of publication, absence of pagination will be treated as incomplete. If your research paper or thesis goes to foreign evaluator, it will bounce back. You will not accept. You have to rectify. Recently, one of the theses was asked to rectify. Thesis belonging to earth science. The researcher has used the word burying. What is the spelling for burying? He has used BURRING. The evaluator said PhD may be awarded after rectifying the spelling of burying, singular, BURING. So, thank you for your patient listening. If you have any questions, or if you need clarification, or if you want to add any of the aspects, whatever are not covered, you are welcome. Yes.
Regarding this multiple submission, can we publish thesis charges in any other books or publications? Is it possible?
Very good question. Sir is asking one question. I have submitted the thesis. The thesis has been awarded or still not awarded. Am I permitted to publish the content of the thesis or content of my research work before submission as well, whether it is permitted or not. Yes, permitted. Many universities, they say 3 articles should be published in ISSN numbered journal before submission. In Mysore University, compulsorily the researcher has to publish minimum of 2 articles in ISSN numbered journal before submission, or after submission you are free to publish your research article. That will not be considered as plagiarized content. The publication of the researcher and publication of the guide, if there are similar content from these 2 authors, that will not be treated as plagiarized content. That will be indicated separately. Whatever content you have taken from already published source, whatever the content you have taken from internet source, whatever your content you have taken from your own source and the sources of your guide will be indicated separately. If you have used anti-plagiarism software, it will indicate what percentage of content you have drawn from artificial intelligence software. Now people are using anti-plagiarism software for review of literature, survey of literature, drafting the thesis, interpreting the data, drawing conclusion, and all that they are using artificial intelligence. So any other questions? Recently, one instance I would like to quote. Registrar evaluation received complaint against a researcher and his guide. We asked the librarian to come with the thesis loaded onto the laptop. We loaded the thesis onto the laptop and we went to the registrar. He said, go to the concluding part. There was conclusion of 6 pages. He said, out of 6 pages, 5 pages he has taken from Wikipedia. How can you take content from Wikipedia? No, I will not accept. And further, you go to the portion of recommendation. There were 7 recommendations. Again, he said, you see, recommendation 2, 3, 4, he has taken from Wikipedia. No, I will not accept. You ask the guide and the researcher to meet me at 4 o'clock. Anyway, if there is a complaint, very difficult. The thesis will be withdrawn. Very dangerous position also. UGC notification is there as way back in 2018, July 31st. Gazette notification with the title Academic Integrity and Prevention of Plagiarism. UGC expects all the teachers and all the researchers should be given orientation program compulsorily. That's why I am specific about this topic. So any question?
If I am studying different dimension of same subject, will it come in a salami slice?
In your, for example, preliminary submission, synopsis. In your synopsis, you have indicated the objectives of the research and hypothesis of the research. Intelligent guess, there is nothing but hypothesis. If you have included, accordingly, if you conduct the research, no problem. If you are deviating from hypothesis and objective, you are including some other aspects that you have not brought to the attention of the people who are giving responses, who are giving data to your research. I am giving data to your research. I will ask you what are the objectives, what are the hypotheses of your thesis. You are telling 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. But actually, after giving my response, you are deviating. Had you told earlier that these are the objectives and hypotheses, my responses would have been different. That's why salami slicing is unethical. Unethical treatment. It comes under research ethics.
And one more point, it is in a multidisciplinary era. So, if it is having in a predatory conferences, how it is?
It is our responsibility. We must identify whether it is a predatory conferences or it is an actually academic conference organized by university and research institute. If they are organized privately or if an online journal is there, their intention is to make money and disappear overnight. That is the definition of predatory. So I have commenced a journal, e-journal. E-journal, I will expect all of you to contribute a research paper. So whatever you contribute, I will say that it is published without any English correction, grammatical correction, rectify. I will not send it to reviewers. I will publish as it is. Whatever you give, if you give it today, I will say that it is published in the evening by 8 o'clock. But I expect you to send 7,000 rupees by 6 o'clock this today. Their intention is to make money. They will be there for 2 years. After making money, about 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, they will disappear. So at the time of attending the interview, the interviewers, the experts in the committee, they will come to know that is a predatory journal, predatory content. They said this will not be considered for academic score. Academic for a professor, 400 marks is required. For associate professor, 300 score is required. For assistant professor, 100 score is required. By calculating the score, if you consider predatory conference, they will exclude at the time of interview. So if you ask the expert of your department, head of the department or board of studies, in every university there are board of studies, they will be knowing whether it is a predatory journal or predatory conference.
Sir, how can we identify the predatory journal, pseudo journals? We have journals with the same ISSN number, and how can we identify whether it is original or predatory journal?
Normally, the head of the department of the university, we have to consult, or your guide, or any senior faculty. They will come to know this journal was not there last year. Suddenly it has emerged 6 months ago. We are not sure whether it will continue after 2 years or not. They will say who are the editors, who are the publishers, how many days they take for publishing the article, then do they collect money for publishing? Do they collect money for publishing? That is also included there. If they are collecting 8,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, if they ask you to submit your article and they say that is published within 24 hours, within 48 hours, definitely it is predatory. No grammatical correction, no up-to-dation of statistical sources and revision of concluding part or recommending part. If you, because they do not belong to your subject. Mainly they do not belong to your subject. Second session is on information sources for teaching and research. I will be mainly dealing with electronic information sources that are freely available on the web. Of late, it has become tedious to access precise information, relevant information, and timely information on account of some of the major constraints. For teachers and research scholars, today it is a tedious task to access precise information, relevant information, and expeditiously or within the minimum loss of time. There are 4 constraints. One is overabundance of information because of information explosion. It is really astonishing to note that a weekly edition of New York Times carries more information than the average man of 17th century England was supposed to know in his entire lifetime. That is the amount of information that is being generated today. Recently, English department of Maharaja's College organized display of foreign newspapers. Intentionally, I went there to see New York Times. It was about 8 to 9 years ago. At that time, the number of pages was 146 pages. Weekly edition of New York Times, Sunday edition, it goes up to 165 pages. You cannot read the entire newspaper. Therefore, it is said, it is really astonishing to note that a weekly edition of New York Times carries more information than the average man of 17th century England who was supposed to know his entire lifetime. Such is the amount of information that is being generated today. You cannot read the entire newspaper. If you are interested in public administration, open the paper at page number 63. 63 to 83, public administration. If you are interested in movies, Open the paper at page number 145 to 155 movies. If you are interested in advertisement, open the paper at page number 145 to 155 advertisement. This is because of overabundance and information explosion. Knowledge gets doubled once in 7 years in the field of science and technology, and once in 9 years in the field of social sciences and humanities. The second constraint is scatter of information. Few years ago, 40 years ago, students and research scholars, including faculty members, used to come to the library seeking hardbound edition of the book and hardbound edition of journals. Now information is made available on magnetic tape, CDs, DVDs, and information that is made available on the web. So information is scattered. If you are a teacher or if you are a research scholar, you are supposed to cover what is there on the web also. And number 3, seepage of information. Sometimes an important research article gets into an irrelevant journal or irrelevant sources. For example, an important research article on earthquake. Geologists are expected to cover this one. Sometimes an important research article on earthquake gets into a popular periodical like Endeavour, Nature, New Scientist, Scientific American. Researchers in the field of earth science are not expected to cover these journals. They miss this attention. Number 3, pollution of information. Information not based on authentic data, redundant data, not unreliable information. A Russian scientist by name Mayoka, he is of the opinion if you are able to get precise information, you have to segregate the irrelevant part of information. That itself is a tedious task, according to Mayoka. However, Dr. Johnson is of the opinion that knowledge is of two kinds. This is very important. Knowledge is of two kinds, according to him. One, what you know, knowledge is of two kinds. One is knowing the information yourself, and another is in knowing where you can find information upon it. Either you retrieve out of your memory, you cannot remember everything of your subject. If you know which source gives what kind of information and where exactly it is available, either in the library or elsewhere, that is also treated as a kind of knowledge. Either you retrieve out of your memory or just know the locus of that knowledge. That is also treated as a kind of knowledge. For example, height of Mount Everest. I don't know the height of Mount Everest, 29,029 feet. But I know which source gives this information and where exactly it is available in the library. I can retrieve within 5 to 10 minutes. That is also treated as a kind of knowledge. Therefore, he rightly says that knowledge is of two kinds. Many of the ancient libraries, manuscript libraries, were destroyed. Alexander Library, which was in Egypt, when Egypt was attacked, the army was on the streets of Egypt. The library was famous all over the world with a collection of 1.1 million documents. 1.1 million documents. The general of the army wanted to see the library. The library flourished almost 900 years, though it was exposed to war and devastation several times. When the general of the army visited the librarian welcomed him. He showed various sections of the library. Map section alone had 1 lakh map. 1 lakh map was the collection of the library. While explaining the map section, the general of the army said, "You stop at that. Human brain is very small. It is very difficult to read and assimilate what is there in your library." So he turned over his shoulder, looked at the soldiers and ordered them to set the library on fire. The library was on fire continuously for 120 days. The entire collection of 1.1 million documents were reduced to ashes. Why I am quoting Alexander Library? Because before printed matter, the libraries were rich in early writing material. Papyrus, palm leaves, clay tablets, parchment and vellum, information recorded on animal skin, copper plate etching, stone inscription, and information recorded on skilled cloth. China invented paper during 1st century. Germans invented printing during 15th century. The first book printed was during 15th century, that was Bible by Germans. And the first journal was released during 16th century, Philosophical Transactions of Royal Society, London. Now there is information explosion. Library of Congress, the largest library in the world, with a collection of 170 million documents. Americans are proud of Library of Congress. If you arrange the books and other sources of Library of Congress in a single sequence, the sequence goes up to 1,400 kilometers. American speaks in terms of knowledge in miles. Such a huge library is crumbling to dust today because of the extensive use of handheld electronic products and relying upon website. Those who visit the library to read books, to borrow books, for 1 year, the statistics is indicating 1.5 million. Only 15 lakh people in a year visit the Library of Congress, Washington. Those who access their website for various digital information per annum, the statistics is indicating 150 million. Where is 1.5 million and 150 million? 150 million in America are relying upon online information facilitated by Library of Congress. Every year they procure 25 lakhs books and other sources. They preserve 15 lakhs on permanent basis. 10 lakhs will be thrown out of the library, treating them of things of passing interest and ephemerals. Primary sources of information. Research materials. If you want to do research, you have to rely upon these 8 different kinds of sources. Periodicals and journals. They are issued at regular intervals. Therefore, they are called periodical. Weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, like that. They carry first-hand information. Technical reports, technology-oriented information. Standards. They ensure uniformity and consistency for manufacturing sector. For example, when you buy bulb, electric bulb, you just buy the bulb from bulb shops. You never specify the diameter of holder, what you have at home. Similarly, blade. You buy blade, when it is placed on the razor, they exactly fit in, neither 1 millimeter more or 1 millimeter less. Both the razors and blades, bulbs and holders are being manufactured as per the specification indicated in the standards. So, Government of India, Bureau of Indian Standards, they publish standards for specification. Every country has got standard institute for uniformity in the country. So standards for measurement, standards for quality, cement, iron, paint, etc. Then standards for composition, drugs, cosmetics, etc. Chemicals have to be mixed in a definite proportion. Then standard for terminology. So the standard institutes, they release technical terms and explanation, dictionaries. Then patents. Patents are nothing but inventions of scientists. They submit to Government of India. The industrialists make use of these patents. They pay a certain amount to Government of India. 30% every year goes to the scientist as royalty. Then conference and seminar proceedings. So experts belonging to a particular field, they come on a common platform, then discuss and deliberate for 2 to 3 days and come out with the recommendations. Then thesis and dissertations, you are familiar. Report of committees and commissions. Commerce students, economic students, management students, public sector undertakings and Government of India, they appoint commissions and committees to go to collect details from the society and come out with recommendations for solutions. Then government publications, acts, ordinances, statutes, government circulars, government notification, memorandum, etc. All these are primary sources of information, first-hand information, original sources of information. On the other hand, we have secondary sources, they are called reference materials. Why do we call them as reference material? You are familiar with reference sources, reference material. What do you mean by reference source? These books are meant for reference in the library. What do you mean by that?
For additional information regarding the things
No.
we will do.
We do not read like novels. Novels or textbook, we read from cover to cover. Reference sources, we do not, seldom we read them. We refer for a particular piece of information. Like dictionary. Dictionary, we refer to the dictionary to know the meaning of a word, to know the pronunciation of a word, to know the usage of the word in the form of sentences. We do not read them. Maps, we do not read the entire map. We want to know the location of a river or mountain. Therefore, they are called reference sources. So dictionaries, encyclopedia, English department is there in your college. Master's degree is also there. So have you seen Oxford English Dictionary? You cannot say no. Oxford English Dictionary. Way back in 1850, British Philosophical Society, they conducted a meeting and they come out with a recommendation. We Britishers are not having a comprehensive dictionary. At that time they were using Johnson's dictionary. So in the year 1850, they entrusted the responsibility to Oxford University Press. They have taken 139 years to come out with a complete full-fledged Oxford English Dictionary. Most of you have not seen Oxford English Dictionary. That's why specifically I am telling you. Oxford English Dictionary, full-fledged dictionary, was brought out in the year 1989. 21 volumes, A4 size, 21 volumes, 21,000 pages, 5 lakh words, 2.7 million quotes and usage in the form of sentences. So dictionary, full-fledged dictionary, 20-volume dictionary was brought out in the year 1989. They have taken 139 years. 139. Shortest word A. Longest word with 49 letters. You have to take 45 minutes to rehearse and prepare for the pronunciation of the word. Highest number of times used the word COVID. COVID, number of times used, highest number of times, COVID. Lowest number of times, quixotic, the word quixotic. So very interesting. Actually, there was a murderer, surgeon, William Chester, surgeon. He was in jail or asylum for almost 29 years. For about 20 years, he contributed to the compilation of the dictionary. For 20 years. 20 years he contributed for the compile of the dictionary. 20 years. So he was given an award. Maker of Oxford English Dictionary. Surgeon was in jail. Then yearbooks and almanacs, handbooks, manuals, atlases and maps. In this top snapshot, you are seeing India, a reference volume. Please note this one. Here, India reference volume, you will get programs, statistics, allocation, expenditure, achievements of all ministries of government of India. Usually, we are giving this one to the Vice Chancellor and Registrar to deliver lectures during Independence Day and Republic Day. You will be getting complete statistics of government of India, performance, expenditure, their program, achievements, everything about government of India, all ministries you will be getting from India reference volume. This costs 250 rupees. Gazetteer. Have you come across gazetteers? Gazetteer, very important source, you cannot forget. Kannur, if you want information about Kannur, latitude, longitude, historical information, temple, art, architecture, and then chapel, then crops, minerals, mines, fuels, irrigation, dams, etc. Any information about any place in the world you will get from Gazetteer, including authoritative maps. Taluk map, district map, state map, national map, you will be getting from Gazetteer. Gazetteer, geographical dictionaries. So we have State Gazetteer, we have Imperial Gazetteer of India in 26 volume, we have Columbia Lippincott Gazetteer of the World or Oxford Gazetteer of the World. Gazetteer, very important. books of awards and honor, Guinness Book of Record and Linka Book of Record, biographical dictionaries, annual reviews, digest of newspaper, bibliographies. Who is who in India? It is an annual publication. Here it will be projecting the biographical details of famous personalities. Europa World Yearbook in 2 volumes. Here you will get the contact address, programs, contact address of director, deputy director, registrar, their programs, their output, services. You will get complete details of all institutions throughout the world, all universities throughout the world, country-wise you will be getting the details in 2 volumes, Europa World Yearbook. Here Statesman's Yearbook in 1 volume, information in brief. International who is all famous personalities throughout the world. If you want to get the details, name, complete name, pen name, their achievement, their programs, what they have published, year of death, year of birth, education, everything you will get from International who is of women, International who is of authors and writers. Gazetteer. I would like to ask you one important question. You are all teachers. Somebody will ask, you are teaching various subjects. Somebody will ask you, have you come across all the books published on your topic of teaching, published in India? Have you come across all the books published on your topic of teaching? Even we will be asking this question to research scholars. As a researcher, he was in the literature survey, you are supposed to cover all the books, all the journals, all the conference proceedings and all the theses. They are supposed to cover everything. They cannot exclude. Here is a source. Indian books in print will give you year-wise books published in India on your topic of teaching. It's a very comprehensive list. It will not exclude anything. So on your topic of teaching, here you will get the list of books published in India year-wise. Indian National Bibliography is also another source. Monthly-wise, it is going to give you list of books on your topic of teaching published in India. That's why they ask you to publish books with ISBN number, because they want to have control over publications. Subject guide to books in print gives you list of books published in United States. So we have covered books published in India. We have covered all the books published in United States. Then what is left is Great Britain. Cumulative book index gives you list of books published in United States from 1899 to 2000, 100 years, whatever that is published in United States. British National Bibliography gives a list of books published in Great Britain. So we have covered all the books published in English on your topic of teaching. Nobody will tell you, I am telling you, don't forget. List of books published in India, list of books published in United States, list of books published in Great Britain. It is very comprehensive if you are focusing on what is published in English language. So what is published in India as a research article, including newspaper article, Guide to Indian Periodical Literature, once in 3 months, gives you a list of articles published in Indian journals and Indian newspaper covering all subjects. Topic wise, they are going to make the list of articles giving you the sources, name of the journal, volume number, issue number, title of the journal and pagination. Here you will get all the research articles published in India, topic wise, once in 3 months. Guide to Indian Periodical Literature. Press in India gives you a list of newspapers and magazines published in India, covering about 13 languages: Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Marathi, including Hindi also. Indian Science Abstract, bibliography with abstract, summary of the research papers. This is pertaining to science publications in India. It covers all the science and technology journals, whatever that is published in India. Indian Science Abstract. This is from NISCAT. NISCAP, National Institute for Science Publications and Resources. Woolrich International Periodicals Directory gives you a list of journals, any subject. If you want list of magazines and list of journals published throughout the world on your topic of teaching, very comprehensive, it is in 5 volumes. 5 volumes, this gives you a list of journals published throughout the world on your subject. This gives you name of the editor, name of the publisher, circulation, contact address of the editor, then price or subscription price of the journal. Complete details you will get from Woolrich International Periodical Directory. It is in 5 volumes. Shodhganga. Shodhganga is a digital repository of electronic thesis submitted to Indian universities. As of today, 6,30,000 theses are there. It is on open platform. It is on open platform. You have to be very careful. A student sitting at home can access the thesis. If he has got internet facility, he can download the thesis. He can get it printed. He can get it bound using red ink. He can make any number of corrections. He can give it to Vice Chancellor. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. We have to be very careful. Whatever you submit, if it is a thesis, if you are a guide or a student, if you submit your thesis, it goes on to the Shodhganga website. That will be on open platform. Anybody can access. Network Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertation. All these are open source, free. Anybody can access. This covers 36 lakhs thesis and dissertation, including Shodhganga. Network Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertation of Virginia Tech University. Digital dissertations. Largest database as far as thesis is concerned, 50 lakhs doctoral thesis. 50 lakhs. If you want, they will supply a Xerox copy of the thesis, or they will send it on CD, or if you are the subscriber, they will give you a user ID and password. You can download PDF file. All alternatives are there, but this is subscription based. 50 lakhs thesis, largest database of doctoral thesis. ProQuest, Ann Arbor, Michigan, USA. Open access thesis and dissertation of McMaster University. Again, 50 lakhs thesis and dissertation. Free. On your topic of teaching, if you conduct a search, you will get several thousands of theses. You cannot complete reading them within 5 years or 10 years. DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals. 20,000 journals are there. So topic wise, if you assign any topic, you will get a list of articles. You can download freely. Almost all are free. Social Science Research Network. This social work department, sociology department is there. So you see 3 lakh recently published articles which you will get access. Covered subjects are economics, commerce, philosophy, political science, management science and English literature. Core Open Access Research Papers Initiative of Open University. You see the number of research papers, 150 million. 150 million articles are there. Again, this is open access, free. You try this one. On your topic of teaching, you will get several thousands of research articles. You cannot complete reading them in 5 years or 10 years. Medline, medical literature, freely available on the web. Science Direct, psychology, computer science and other departments. Mainly it covers pure science and biomedical journals. UGC, IncludeNet Center. Have you heard of IncludeNet Center?
Yeah.
Information Library Network of UGC. So now, hitherto they were providing access to 7,500 journals under eShodh Sindhu. Shodhganga is one of the services. eShodh Sindhu is one of the services where you will get access to 7,500 journals. Now, Modi has decided differently. One nation, one subscription. Let the government of India pay one subscription to one journal so that everybody will access throughout the country. In China, what they do, they subscribe single license subscription, single user subscription. They translate it into Chinese and distribute the soft copy to all the research institute and academic institutions. In India, government of India is paying one subscription, and it is going to be distributed to all academic institutions and research institutions. Enlist, this is for degree colleges. Degree colleges, what you get here is access to 6,500 journals and 1 lakh ebooks. Degree colleges. One nation, one subscription. Access to 14,000 scholarly journals. They have negotiated with 30 international publishers. Benefit for 6,300 institutions covering 1.8 crore students, researchers and faculty members. These are the major publishers they have negotiated with in the first phase. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Regularly they publish 18 journals. All are available online. They are published from NISCAP, National Institute for Science, Communication and Information Resources. Indian Academy of Science, Bangalore. They regularly publish 12 periodicals. All are freely available online, including back volumes. Best of History. History department is not there. Best of History site. Sources for research in maths, ancient history, Indian history, European history, modern history, art history and Greek history. Best of History. Prehistory, Mesopotamia, Hinduism, Constitution, World Wars, political parties, terrorism and military history. History Reference Center. NCRT publications. NCRT at intermediate level. Literature. So galenet.com is the important website for English literature. What you get here is information on American literature, Canadian literature, works on Shakespeare, children's literature, e-books, e-periodicals, reference sources and biographical details. Education Resources Information Center. Almost all newspapers are online, including some newspapers give archives up to 10 years. 1942, Second World War. An air crash which occurred on 8th August 1942. I want the newspaper information. Libraries will not preserve newspaper for long duration because it absorbs acid and sulfur from atmosphere. It becomes brittle. When you rustle through the pages crumble into pieces. They are easily susceptible for insect attack. Therefore, instead of newspaper, there are newspaper digest by title Casing's Record of World Events. On the web, it is available from 1931 to present. So, 8th August 1942, you will get the information on the web. You can search within 2 minutes. So, hard copy searching, you have to consume lot of dust. A small piece of information may miss your attention. Casing's Record of World Event, digest of newspapers. Indiastat.com, very important, don't forget. Statistics at national level and state level, under 56 subjects. Ready-made statistics, how many people met with accident last year, how many hospitalized, how many died on the spot, how many men, how many women, how many children. Entire statistics, any statistics at national level under 56 subjects, you will be getting from Indiastat.com. This is not free. This is a subscription based. Single user license 50,000, 5 concurrent users 250,000. Nobel lectures in the field of physics, chemistry, biological science, economics, English literature and peace. From 1901 to present, Nobel lecture together with biographical details of Nobel laureate. Printed version is also there. on the web it is also available. E-books are also available. E-books are also available. Amazon e-books, Google Scholar, Springer, largest number of books, about more than 3 lakh books are made available by Springer. Book a Million, Borders, Project Gutenberg, 80,000 books are available. Freely you can access. American Library, you see the number of books. Our library is 110 years old. Our library collection, like book collection, is 4.5 lakhs. Here number of books accessible is 36 lakhs. 1,000 libraries have joined together. They have scanned their sources and hosted the content on the web so that people can access freely. You can access freely. Sitting at home, you can access. You can download. You can read. If you are tired of reading, there is an option. If you select the option, software will read the book for you. You can sit in the couch and listen to the software. This facility is not for you. This facility is for visually challenged people. Let visually challenged people make use of the facilities. All 36 lakhs books, the software will read for them. Visually challenged students. Canadian Libraries, Directory of Open Access Books, Barnes and Noble. This is an old bookshop in the United States. They are specialized in book rarities. Any old book, any books out of print, if you assign the task to them, they will trace the book and supply the book to you. Open Textbook Library, OpenStax. Visually challenged students. Nowadays, state government and government of India, they expect an institution to take care of visually challenged students. In Mysore University, there are a number of students who move freely on the campus without any difficulty. But they cannot read books, they cannot recognize our faces because of low vision problem, partial blindness. For them, Freedom Scientific USA has brought out number of hardware and software products. Spending about 1 crore rupees, we have installed all those equipments, hardware and software. NAC people, they were attracted to this Learning Resource Center for Visually Challenged. This is Sara Book Reader. Your entire library books can be stored on this equipment. Entire library. One equipment will accommodate 6,000 to 7,000 books. So any book, the visually challenged student, if he selects any book, the equipment will start reading the book. 42 different types of accents are there. American accent, British accent, Russian accent, Indian accent, Australian accent, African accent. You can select the accent, speed of reading, and also volume. So this is with 200 GB capacity. This costs 2 lakh rupees. Sara Book Reader. Left hand side you can see Angel Book Reader, 100 books. We have loaded 100 books and distributed among visually challenged students. So before giving this, they were scoring 54, 55, 56%, especially social work. Number of visually challenged students are there in social work department. After giving this equipment, they started securing 74, 75, 76%. While walking on the road, while traveling by train or bus, they can listen to the reading of books. Angel Book Reader. This costs just 10,000 rupees. While going out of the institution, they say, we cannot give back this equipment, we want to keep this equipment. So we have given it to them. So this is Topaz Magnifier. Magnification is to the extent of 42 times. JAWS talking software. We have loaded 20 systems with JAWS talking software. What is there on the monitor, sighted people will read out. For visually challenged students, the software will read out what is on the monitor. So single user license is 1 lakh rupees. JAWS talking software and Windows size software. Duxbury Braille translation software. 12 Indian languages will get converted. Malayalam will get converted into Braille script. Braille script. Braille script will get converted into Malayalam. Any book written in Malayalam or English can be converted into Braille script without the permission of the author. Way back in 2012, Parliament has lifted the restriction for visually challenged students. This is refreshable braille display. If they get email, the text will get converted into braille and that will be displayed on the board. When they place the finger on the board, they can read the text instantaneously. Single line keyboard. If one limb is not movable, they can operate with single line. If both the limbs are not movable, you can operate with foot pedal mouse. All these equipment are available in the library. So I would like to conclude with the statement that knowledge is of two kinds. One is knowing the subject yourself, and another is knowing where you can find information upon it. So thank you very much. If you have got any question or if you know any website to add to whatever I have said so far, or if you need clarification, you are welcome. So any question? So thank you. I will commence the next session just after 5 minutes. Thank you. This session is comparatively a small session for 30 minutes, focusing on imparting knowledge in Indian philosophy, how the masters were delivering knowledge to the disciples during Vedic period. I have selected from Upanishads and Darshanas. Upanishads happen to be the last part of Vedas. Vedas have been divided into 4 parts: Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Mantras, Aranyakas and Upanishads. Brahmanas and Mantras, they were ritualistic. Aranyakas and Upanishads deal about knowledge part of philosophical aspects of ancient India. Upanishad means, Upa means near, Ni means devotion, Shat means sitting. Sitting by the side of master with devotion, listening to his teachings. That is the meaning of Upanishads. Sitting by the side of master with devotion, listening to his teachings. That is the meaning of Upanishad. The last part of Vedas, happen to be the last part of Vedas. Altogether there are 108 Upanishads. It is said 11 are the major Upanishads. 11. Ishavatya Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Prashnopanishad, Kathopanishad, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitariya, Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya and Shvetashvata. These are the 11 major Upanishads that deal about the Indian philosophy. This happens to be the basic test for all the philosophers. For all the philosophers in the later stage, like Shankaracharya from Kerala, Kalladi Shankaracharya, what he has done, he has interpreted the teachings of Upanishads. That's all. Upanishads means students from the age of 8 to 16 years, they ask questions to the masters. It is in the form of dialogue between master and disciple. So it is in the form of discussion between master and disciple. There are 11 principal Upanishads. Then Darshanas, Upanishad, every Vedantins have given commentaries. Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya and Vallabhacharya, Nimbarkacharya, they have written commentaries on Upanishads. Upanishad happen to be the basic philosophy of basic Indian philosophy. Then Darshanas. Darshanas are nothing but 6 systems of Indian philosophy. Like Nyayika of Gautama Maharshi, then Vaisheshika of Kannur, then Sankhya of Kapila Maharshi, Yoga of Patanjali, then Purva Mimamsa of one of the philosophers, then finally Vedanta. Purva Mimamsa and sage. So, Indian knowledge system in the syllabus, it is depicted. It is for national education policy. Initiatives have been undertaken to guide research and propagate indigenous knowledge. This is the basic intention while promoting national education policy. Emphasis on native knowledge, Indian knowledge, with the traditional and Indianness has to be there. Indianness, what is specific from India, that has to be inculcated among the students. Over 2 lakh suggestions were received while framing national education policy. Based on 2 lakh suggestions, they have framed the syllabus. So interdisciplinary aspect is also there. In addition to that one, multidisciplinary is also there. Emphasis on interdisciplinary research. So Vedas may be divided broadly into 2 categories. One is Karma Kanda, another is Gnana Kanda. Karma Kanda teaches mainly the first, it was composed in 936 sutras by Jaimini. Jaimini speaks of various yajnas, yagas and rituals, which are purely ritualistic. Jaimini Maharshi has written sutras. Shabara has written commentaries on that one. Prabhakara and Kumarila Bhatta schools of philosophy. Then Gnanakanda, mainly spiritualistic. Vyasa Maharshi, Bhadrayana Vyasa, has composed in 555 sutras. It is called Brahma Sutra. Nothing but the core of Upanishadic philosophy. Gnanakanda, altogether, philosophy, Indian philosophy can be broadly, for practical purpose, can be broadly classified into 4 categories for our convenience. Swami Vivekananda has classified into 4 categories. One is Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means yoga of knowledge and practice of spirituality, predominantly by way of systematic inquiry and reflective thinking. It is highly scientific and it is not ritualistic. It is mainly thought-oriented philosophy. Then second one is Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is mainly spiritualistic. Second is devotional aspect. Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion towards God as the Supreme Self and worship by chanting hymns and praise of the Lord. Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti cult. Then third one is Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga or Hatha Yoga. This is basically nothing but Patanjali Yoga. He has propounded in 8 steps. Ashtanga Yoga. There are 8 steps. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. He has explained in 8 steps Patanjali systematically. It is called Raja Yoga or Hatha Yoga. Then Karma Yoga, performing duties and services to society, including activities of worship. All these are without any personal motive or worldly benefit. These duties and services are performed for the sake of God and thereby derive bliss for oneself. Nishkama Karma. This is the main teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Nishkama, do your duty without expecting the results. Do your duty and enjoy the work. Then Shakt Darshanas, I have already explained. Jnana, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa. What are the literature available to study this entire philosophy? What are the major philosophical works to cover Indian philosophy in one gamut? Ramayana and Mahabharata, these were epics. Ramayana stories like this. Then Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata and 18 Puranas composed by Vyasa Maharshi. Then Yoga Vasishtha. Then Panchatantra and Hitopadesha, stories for children. Then Panchadashi Vidyaranya, Sarva Darshana Sangraha in 16th century. Sayanacharya and Madhavacharya together for the first time they have published 100 textbooks. 100 Savana Madhava including Sarva Darshana Sangraha. Then Vachana Sahitya of 12th century. Then Ashtavakra Gita, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra gives you 112 types of meditation. All types of meditations have been indicated that 112 types of meditations are explained there. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, then Jnaneshwari, Maharashtra, Santa Gnanadeva, Bhagavad Gita, Vichara Chandrodaya, Vichara Sagara, Narada Bhakti Sutra, Shandilya Bhakti Sutra, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Yogopanishad. There are 16 Upanishad which deals about yoga philosophy. Nada Bindu Upanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad, like that. Then Kaivalya Paddhati of another philosopher. Then Viveka Chudamani of Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya has composed Viveka Chudamani. Relating to yoga, the classic texts are available are these. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Those who are interested in studying Vedas or practicing yogas or Vedas, yoga. Hatha Yoga, Pradipika, Mahatma Heranda Samhita, Amanaskaruta, Yoga Taravadi, Yoga Karnika, Yogopanishad, Chakra Nirupana, Hatha Ratnavali, Goraksha Shataka, Bharat Yoga Darshana, Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Hatha Tattva Kumudini, Serpent Power in English by Pilathara. These are the classics available in yoga. There is an encyclopedic work by Macmillan in 60 volumes, Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Here he gives you the biographical details of all philosophers and saints throughout the world. And you will get explanations for all schools of philosophy, all schools, all religions. 16 volume set. Bhagavad Gita, these are the classic texts. Bhagavad Gita and Indian philosophy by Radhakrishnan in 2 volumes. Sarvadarshana Sangra Madhavacharya, Yoga Vasistha Valmiki. P.V. Kane. P.V. Kane, he has taken 32 years to write 15,000 pages on history of Dharma Shastras, classic work. Nowhere in the world we come across 8 volumes only on Dharma Shastras written by P.V. Kane. Government of India has given Bharat Ratna to him. Scholar, he is an advocate and also scholar in Sanskrit scholar. National Digital Library of India. Here you will get access to 60 million items, not only on Indian philosophy, but on all aspects. Sociology, social work, English literature, then all economics. All subjects are covered here. 60 million items. This is hosted on the server of IIT Kharagpur. You can access freely. This is an open platform. National Digital Library of India. 60 million items are there. Ancient libraries. Ancient libraries, now in Maharashtra there are Sayajirao Gaikwad Oriental Research Institute, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute of Mysore University, then Kudabaksh Library. There are Oriental libraries of the manuscript libraries. Tanjore Manuscript Library. This is a account of sage Vachaspati Mishra. Vachaspati Mishra was a saint of 9th century. 9th century. He has written commentaries on Nyaya Sutras, then Patanjali Yoga Sutras and works of Shankaracharya. He was around 24-25 years of age. Just then he had married. He was put up on the outskirts of the forest. He was leading the life of a hermit, simple life of a hermit. He was reading the text, reading, rereading and contemplating on the core of knowledge. He was applying reflective thinking, reading, reflective thinking and continuously contemplating on the core of knowledge. In this process, he used to enter meditative trance. Occasionally, he used to get up and start writing the commentaries. He was not aware of external world. Day and night, he was not aware of day and night. So, his wife used to serve food at the right time. She used to pour oil to maintain the lamp. One day, due to strong wind currents, the lamp was put off. The entire area pitch dark. He was not able to read. Vachaspati was not able to continue his reading. So slowly he started regaining the awareness of external world. The entire area was dark. At a distance he saw a lady coming with a lamp in her hand. He placed the lamp on at his desk. In that light, he looked at her and asked her, "Who are you?" She smiled and replied, "I am your wife. Have you forgotten me?" Then for a while he started recollecting where I am sitting when I got married. He started looking at himself. His beard had grown long. It had turned grey. He sat almost 2.5 decades, reading, reflective thinking, and contemplating on the core of knowledge. Number of texts he has written. So finally he said, "Please excuse me." He felt sorry for her. She said, "I am not worried. So whatever work you are doing, my contribution is also there." She said, "My contribution is also there." So her name was Bhamati. He named the text after her, Bhamati. Even today, Jains, Buddhists and Vedantins refer to Bhamati if they need any clarification on any of the philosophical issues. So nowhere in the world you will come across a sage like Vachaspati who continuously focused on reading and assimilating the knowledge of Shankaracharya. If you read Shankaracharya and contemplate continuously, you will enter meditative trance. In enter meditative trance, you will get enlightened. That's what Vachaspati Mishra did during 9th century. Nyaya Sutras of Gautama. This is nothing but the exposition of knowledge. Here he says there are 4 ways of knowing. 4 ways of knowing. One is pratyaksha. Indriyat janyam pratyaksham jnanam. That is knowledge or information is gained because of contact of sense organ with the objects. So pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksha. Sense organs will comprehend and you will get the knowledge. That is one type. The second type is anumana, reasoning. You will reason. The hill is on smoke. There is smoke on the hill. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. This is like that. Therefore, the hill is on fire. This is the reasoning. You will get knowledge on account of reasoning also. One, direct sensual perception. The second one is on account of reasoning. The third one is Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana, some authoritative sources are there. If you read, you will get knowledge. That is Shabda Pramana. The fourth one is Upamana, comparison. This is like that. If you compare, you will come to know what exactly is the situation. So according to Nayakas, there are 4 types of gaining knowledge. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shabda and Upamana. But Shankaracharya says there are 6 ways of knowing. 6 ways. He wants to include Arthapati. Arthapati means presumption. Presumption. For example, Devadatta is not eating anything for the past 1 year. Still he is very strong. This presupposes that he might be eating during night when nobody is seeing at him. So presumption is there. Then Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi means non-cognition. Nobody is there in the classroom, so you will get lot of information. Nobody passed this examination. Again, this is useful information. Absence of thing is also a type of knowledge. Non-cognition. In English it is called Anupalabdhi, non-cognition. Then in the morning, Father was speaking about Samadhana, Shanti and peace. So Shankaracharya says Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi Shatka Sampattu. Then Mokshatva. Shamadamadi Shatka Sampattu is very essential to see God, to realize God, to realize the Supreme Self, to realize the ultimate reality. One should have the certain characteristics as a prerequisite. One is Shame. Shame means mind. Mind should be in a peaceful state, first thing. Second one, Dhamma. The body should sit quietly without any disturbance. Calmly one should sit. Then Titiksha, tolerance should be there. To some extent one should tolerate. Then the fourth one, Shraddha. Shraddha means one should be interested in philosophy or pursuit of philosophy or in the practice of philosophy. Then Shanti. peace. One should be peaceful. You should not be disturbed. One should not be in a disturbed state by pursuing philosophy. So Shanti is also required. Then Samadhana, contentment. Content with whatever that is available. These are the prerequisites according to Shankaracharya. This is taken from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There is a dialogue between husband and wife. Yajnavalkya happened to be a sage of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, a major sage of Indian philosophy. Most of the contribution of Indian philosophy is by Yajnavalkya. His wife was Maitreyi. So how the knowledge of the ultimate reality can be obtained? He says, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Very important. This is how knowledge gets transmitted to the disciple. He says, Shravana, you should carefully listen to me. So every day I will be delivering discourses, I will be giving you instructions, I will be delivering the knowledge to you. Carefully listen to me. Shravana. Shravana is the first thing. Then Manana. Manana means, so you should continuously apply reflective thinking. You should apply reflective thinking on whatever I have said, whatever I have taught you. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, contemplating on the core of knowledge. Then you will get experience. Experience is very important, not theoretical knowledge in Indian philosophy. So Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, hearing, reflective thinking and contemplating. Then finally, you will experience the Lord, you will experience the reality, you will experience the Supreme Self. That is the main teaching of Yajnavalkya. This is what the ancient sages have predominantly focused on, transmission of knowledge. Yajnavalkya and Janaka. Prashnopanishads. Prashnopanishad here, the teacher Pilathara, he teaches for 8 years. One day he said, yes, I have completed all teaching, so I have delivered all knowledge to you. This is the last day. Then the students felt very happy. So tomorrow we can go to our places. Further he said, no, for 1 year you have to clarify. You ask questions, you clarify your doubts. For 1 year you are supposed to ask questions. Then philosophy will be in the form of dialogue. After 8 years of study, he says you have to ask questions on whatever you have learned so far. So there were 6 students in Prashnopanishad. This is called Prashnopanishad. Prashna means questions. The entire Upanishad is in the form of questions. So 6 students. Students were around 12 to 16 years. So Sukesha, Satyakama, Sauryayani, Kausalya, Bhargava and Kapandi. These were the major 6 students. They asked various questions for 1 year. Prashna, Pariprashnena, Prashnena, Sevaya. They should ask questions continuously. Very important aspects. It will be in the form of question and answers. Nachiketa, Kathopanishad, dialogue between Lord Yama and Nachiketa, boy of 8 years old. He asked a question. After the death, people say man doesn't exist. But some world he continued to exist. What is your experience? He asked the Lord. He asked Lord Yama. He continuously gives information. Life after death. Then he says path of Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas means we do things for earning. Then we do things for enlightenment. There are 2 paths, Shreyas and Preyas. Preyas means what is interesting to us. We learn botany, zoology, physics, chemistry to earn livelihood. Then Shreyas means we learn for the sake of enlightenment. We learn for the sake of experiencing the ultimate reality. Therefore he said there are 2 paths. One is Shreyas and another one is Preyas. Then he says, what are the benefits? All right, I will get enlightened. 8 years old boy, yes, all right, I will get enlightenment, you are explaining me all this, okay. What are the benefits I am going to get? All right. What do I get? He says, you will get two things. One is you will become blissful. You will gain bliss. Throughout your life, you will be completely blissful. The second one, you will be free from fear of death. Amrutatva and Santosha. Bliss. Ananda and Amrutatva. You will get. Then know thyself from the master. Again he says, master, one who has experienced the ultimate reality, he will explain to you. Carefully listen to him. You apply reflective thinking, continuously contemplate on that one. You feel, you experience by feeling. Being is lost in becoming. Another famous statement. So you experience the love. Don't understand or don't collect information. What is important here is experiencing. Experience is important. Then how do you experience? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. You are the witness of three states. You are the witness. This is very important. Waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep. These three are our experiences. So the self, your self, one which comprehends information, one who comes to know, you will come to know because of the self. This is a common to dreaming state and waking state. You are in the dreaming state. As soon as the dreaming state vanishes, you still exist. You still exist, that's why you come to waking state again. This knowledge of self is common to all the three states, but waking state, dreamless, deep sleep, these three are the experience. The common basis, your self. Knowledge of the self is common. In Mundaka Upanishad, the disciple asked the master, you tell me that thing after knowing which there remains nothing to be understood. You tell me, you teach me that thing after knowing that there remains nothing to be known. You see the question. 12 years old boy asked the master. Then again he said Aparavidya and Paravidya. This is just like Shreyas and Preyas. Aparavidya means what we learn in the world, botany, zoology, chemistry and all. Then Paravidya means knowledge of the ultimate reality, of the knowledge of the self. Transcendental knowledge. Shvetaketu and Uddalaka, master and disciple, father and son. Where is the self? Where is the ultimate reality? That's the question. Where is the reality? Reality is all pervading. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma Ishavasyavidam Sarvam. La ilahi illallah. There is nothing exists apart from the Lord. La ilahi illallah. Reality is all pervading. Ishavasyavidam Sarvam. Isha, indweller, as well as the pervading. Brahman, everything emanates from the subtle. As salt exists in seawater, Brahman is everywhere in this universe. So salt is there in the entire sea, just like the Lord is there. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything there is Lord. That is the teaching of Uddalaka to his son Shvetaketu. Antevasa. Those days, students used to stay with the master for 8 years, 8 to 12 years. Students used to stay in the ashram of the master, not going home. This is called Antevasa. And the method was Prasnena, Pariprasnena, Sevaya. They should serve in the ashram. They must do certain work in the ashram. They must ask questions, not only just hearing to what is given by the teacher. You must ask the question and question. Charaka, another philosopher and master of medicines. One Charaka Samhita is there. Is the father of Ayurvedic medicine. When he was a boy of 8 years old, he went to Himalayas to learn medicine under the guidance of a master. After studying for 4 years, the master said, next week the king of the place is coming to the ashram. You remove all shrubs, climbers, branches of the tree so that king will easily come to the ashram. You make a way for him. You remove all the unwanted branches of trees, climber, shrubs and all. After 1 week, the master visited the spot. Nothing was done. He was astonished. He asked him, why you have not removed unwanted climbers, branches of trees and shrubs? He said, in every plant there are medicine value. Very useful medicines are there. Climbers are there. Shrubs are there. Branches of tree, very useful medicine. I cannot cut these trees. Then he said, what people learn in 12 years, you have learned in 4 years. Nothing to teach about you. You can return home. So whatever in medicine he learned in 4 years instead of 8 years, he wrote the Charaka Samhita. It's called Father of Indian Medicine. Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad. The master, after completing teaching for 8 to 12 years, he said valedictory function is there, farewell is there tomorrow. So one of the students asked the question, after returning home, after going to various places, what is our responsibility? He said, Swadhyaya and Pravachana should be continued throughout your life. You see, Swadhyaya means reading of text, updating your knowledge should be throughout your life. Reading of basic text, reading of latest knowledge should be there throughout your life. Swadhyaya means studying of text. The student should continuously read. Reading is an adventure that never ends. Reading is an adventure that never ends. He says Swadhyaya should be continued after going to your place. Another one is Pravachana. You should deliver talks. Acquire knowledge, you talk to the people. These two should be your responsibilities after reaching your place. Panini, you have heard of Panini. He has written a text on grammar during 5th century. 5th century Common Era, before Common Era. 5th century Common Era. He says, teacher should also write. That's why in UGC, you have not come across UGC report. Every teacher has to publish research paper from time to time. Reports start like this. Teachers should also publish research papers. Panini, way back in 5th century, 2500 years ago, he says 5 important responsibilities of teachers. 2500 years ago. One is teacher should also write. You are teaching, but according to him, teacher should also write and publish. Then doubts have to be clear. If he himself is in doubt before teaching, these doubts have to be clear. Then number 3, neither slow nor fast presentation. By presenting your students, do not be too fast or do not be too slow. There are other conditions also specified by Panini. Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Yoga is for the well-being composed 3 texts, Ayurveda, Vyakarna and Yoga. He has written 3 important texts, including Yoga philosophy. So in 8 steps, he has explained Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, external practice. Then Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, practice for himself, internal. Then as a prerequisite, he said one should practice ahimsa, non-violence, speaking truth, not stealing, not accumulating wealth, and self-restraint. These are prerequisites for the knowledge of the self. Then another 5 essentials are cleanliness, happiness, study of text, finance, tapas, and then submit fruits of action to Lord. Pancha Klesha, he says. difference between teacher and master. Ancient master and teacher. Teacher takes responsibility of growth of students. Master makes students responsible for growth. Teacher answers questions of students. Guru or master questions the answers of students. Teacher discipline is enforced on students. Master requires trust and submission. Teacher responsible for your knowledge. Master responsible for your wisdom. Teacher emphasizes on acquisition of information. Master emphasizes on practical experience. Teacher prepares for your outer journey. Master prepares for your inner journey. Teacher sharpens your mind. Master opens your mind. Teacher more of instructive education. Master aims at constructive education. Teacher aims at systematic approach. Master aims at holistic approach. This is emphasized in National Educational Policy. Holistic approach makes you competent to solve problems. Teacher makes competent to solve your problems. Master makes you competent to prevent problems. These are some of the differences between masters, traditional masters and teachers. Somewhere I came across this information. Master is compared to mirror. His aim is to see yourself. You must see yourself. So he will make us realizing our plus points and defects. Then master is a man. He will ask us to reach the exact place. Full moon is knowledgeable. MMTC now is Academic Staff College. Earlier name was Academic Staff College. Now UGC has changed its nomenclature. MMTC, Madan Mohan Malviya Teachers Training Center. Education should be accessible to all, regardless of their social or economic status. Madan Mohan Malviya's educational philosophy emphasized the integration of traditional Indian knowledge with modern education, character building, moral values, and equal access to education for all. This is the main important statement of Madan Mohan Malviya, Vice Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University, North India. This is Radhakrishnan Center for Philosophy. Radhakrishnan stayed in this building during President of India, stayed here during 2019, 16, 17, 18, 19. For three and a half to 4 years, he stayed in this building. Now we have converted this one into a philosophical center. Center for Philosophy and Indian Culture. It is converted into a public library now. Public library. So any questions? In this session, I have made it clear the method of transferring knowledge from masters to disciple during Upanishadic period and during Darshanas, 6 schools of Indian philosophy. So, thank you very much for your patience.
Father Melvin Tennessee. Dr. Roy Xavier. We'll be calling out the department heads to give away the certificates. Department of Land. Received the Bureau Certificate of Appreciation.
Dear all, as we conclude this FDP on leveraging research, philosophy and technology in academia, I hope we take away the importance of interdisciplinary approaches in shaping the future of education. Dr. C.P. Raman's wide-ranging expertise has sparked a wave of enthusiasm for teaching and research among us. With a loud round of applause, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our sir. I would like to propose a vote of thanks to our esteemed management and also our manager, Reverend Father Rajan Fosto, for their support and encouragement. I especially thank our principal, Dr. Shajimon TJ, of his guidance and support. Thanking each one of you, including Dr. Subhash John, Vice Principal, Father Melvin Devasi, Assistant Manager, Ms. Grishma Pavitran, IQAC Coordinator, Ms. Jancy Joseph, President IIC, and also Mr. Abhilash, Mr. Anthony, and also a special thanks to Ashita Mess and also the member of Academic Forum. I conclude my words. Thank you, one and all.